Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tales on Tap. Thank you so much for joining us once again as we embark again on the epic adventure of Aerilon, A Destined Journey. We hope that you guys at home are doing very well and that your week has been good so far. We have lots to catch up on, so let's just jump straight into it. How is everybody at the table doing?
Hello, very well, thank you.
Calm and collected.
Love that. So the first thing that you'll probably notice is that we do not have Evan's beautiful face with us here this evening. It is entirely his fault for booking the incorrect flights for a trip that he has recently taken to Finland. He has taken nothing but abuse on our Discord group for making such an unwarranted and completely disrespectful move on his part, but
disrespectful.
we're not going to hang our hats on the failings of one individual within our group. We're going to look past it and we're going to move on to brighter and better days.
He's casted that line out far, isn't he?
I feel like we're also being attacked by this, not only Evan, so that we know that this is what's going to happen to us if we ever miss a session.
Yeah,
100%. Going to
100%.
get dragged.
Well, let's not read between the lines, but the statement's there. So before we jump into tonight's session, we have got some important announcements to get through, as we do every week. I shall be playing the part of Evan. That's right, I'm in Finland and I don't care about my D&D group, but I'm going to get through the announcements that Evan would typically pick up. So, if you have been here for a while, you know that we are smattered across all realms of social media. We have got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all the rest of it. All the links are downstairs. Sorry, I'm being Evan, I forgot.
Yeah.
Down in the dungeon.
But not how he says it.
I know. But if you haven't been over to any of our social media sites, make sure you head over to them after all, but in between the session that we've got on tonight. Make sure you follow, subscribe, any support that you guys can give us with promoting different posts. I know that if you have already subscribed, you'll know that we do post quite often on our social medias. So any and all support that you can give us is absolutely amazing. So thank you very much for that. So we're going to go on to the sponsor announcements. So Han, why don't you tell us about one of our lovely sponsors?
Yeah, sure thing. We are, as Campaign 2 has been, sponsored by Awfully Queer Heroes, a incredible couple of individuals who create accessible and queer-friendly maps, levels 1 to 20 modules, spell books, all of the fun stuff. You can find them over on their DriveThruRPG page or also follow them on Patreon. And as I announced last week, they have also put a very interesting looking campaign that is almost ready to be backed on Kickstarter, called A Tale of Two Queens, a pirate D&D adventure, level 16 to 20, that is compatible with 5th edition and Pathfinder 2e. So that tickles your fancy if you're a fan of fruity pirates and just, fun high-level D&D in general. I definitely recommend you go over and back that, because I definitely will be too. And thank you guys for being with us and being friends of Campaign 2, and we love you both very much.
Thank you.
He doesn't like fruity pirates.
Yeah, it was amazing. Amazing. Thank you very much. Natalie, why don't you tell us about one of our other sponsors?
Okay, our other sponsor here at Tales on Tap is Valkyrie RPG. That's Valkyrie-RPG. Their link is down in the dungeon as well. Go check them out for all things D&D goodies. So you're talking dice, apparel, terrain. I have pre-ordered some LED dice from them. Can't wait till they arrive. Their pre-orders are now closed. So if you got in there, good on you. But they have loads of other things to go and check out. Our code works at checkout for 10% off, which is Tales10 at checkout. It doesn't work on subscription boxes, unfortunately, but they are very much worth the purchase anyway.
Amazing. Thank you very much. So, Chris, there's a lot coming up for Tales on Tap, isn't there? And there's a lot on the horizon. So why don't you tell the good folk at home about some of those really exciting things?
Well, I'll tell you about it, but you're not going to have to wait long, because this very Thursday, you will be able to listen to the entirety of Campaign 2 so far on podcast in podcast form. Sorry, and you can find those wherever you listen to your podcasts. So and I'm going to list them off this one time because it's quite an exhaustive list, but it is anywhere you listen to your podcast, including Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Castbox, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Overcast, Pocket Casts, and Radio Public. Tales on Tap is available now on all of these platforms. Our sessions are broken down into 2 easy to digest parts, one before the break, one after the break, so that you can listen to Tales on Tap on the go, catch up on the go. If you miss a session, it's going to be easy to catch up so that you know and you're right back in where we're supposed to be by the next week. Please go look at those, check them out, follow us, give us good ratings on there to boost the algorithm and get that part of what we put out noticed. But it's very exciting to be putting it out there, and you'll also get to hear me do some weird little radio voice announcements at the beginning and end of everything. You could go follow it now. The episodes aren't up yet. They're going up on Thursday, but you can still go and check it out now. There is a little intro on there, and there's a page for you guys to follow. Following that, in the near future, we're going to be running a one-shot with a bunch of other people in the D&D community that are going to be joining us for a very special one-shot that Dan's going to be running, as well as one of the cast members from this group. Do we reveal who it is now, or should we keep it?
I was going to say, I feel like we should. I feel like revealing everyone that's playing, because there's some big people from it.
Okay. You go ahead and do that then.
Okay,
if you've got it to hand.
I have got them to hand. So we have been scouring the D&D scape of not only UK, but also American D&D channels and D&D communities to try and find some people to collaborate with. And we have the following people. We have John, who is part of the Tales of the Two-Ton Bridges, or Trolls of the Two-Ton Bridges podcast. It's a UK D&D podcast. We have Jordan from Modified Roll, who is a professional dungeon master. We actually met Jordan and John back at UK Game Expo that we were at last year, which was really, really fun.
Yeah, he's in one of our videos that you can find on our YouTube channel.
Exactly.
If you search for our UK Games Expo videos.
Yeah, man. And then we also have Chloe, who is from the Deck of Many Aces podcast. And we also have Miko joining us, who is, as you can see, the okayest GM. And
shout out to chat.
Yeah, man. And Miko is one of the founders of Folk and Myth. And we also have one of our wonderful viewers joining us at the table, Ruth Alana, who you've probably seen already in chat tonight, will be joining us for this very special session. And we've decided to bring one of these 5 reprobates with us to play as well.
You don't need one of them.
So, Tales on Tap member, make yourself known.
Well, that would be me.
Hey!
For this.
Yes, and this is going to be a really, really fun session. I don't want to give too much away, but are we talking like airship piratey adventure? Oh, I think so.
Ooh.
It's going to be amazing.
Damn.
You and me.
Yeah, this feels unfair.
But yes, that sums up who's going to be at the game table with us, and that is going to be live. We're not recording it. It's not just going to be on YouTube. We're going to do this live, and that is on January 30th.
Nice. Nice. But there are many other things coming up in the world of Tales on Tap in the future. Be sure to stay tuned to all our social medias. We have other one-shots planned, other small campaigns coming up in the works. There's an exciting future ahead, both for this campaign and everything that we're going to be putting out. So stay tuned.
Love that. And do you know, I forgot one very vital part of this evening.
Ooh.
And that was the introductions that I missed at the very beginning.
You did.
So let's say hello to everybody. Say hello, Han.
Hi.
Say hello, Natalie.
Hey.
Say hello, Dan.
Hello.
Hey, Dan.
Dan, special question.
Special questions.
I can't find my questions.
Never prepared.
This happens
Never.
every week.
No, I can't find them. I did have them. Where are my questions?
I need to ask him one instead.
Favorite colour.
Wait.
How do you like your eggs in the morning?
Oh, we're not doing that. Where Say hello, Chris, while I find these questions, please.
Hello, everyone. Hello, podcast listeners, if you're there, given that this is the first time we've released an episode while the podcast is a thing. So, hello, podcast listeners, if you're
I
listening.
think you also forgot YouTube Music.
You
your,
did forget
your
YouTube
list.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
that's not really a future thing now, because that's already there. That's past episode. But yes, no, you are right. Past episodes of Tales on Tap, previous campaigns, previous one-shots are also available on YouTube Music as a podcast.
You've really lost them, haven't you?
He's Googling quickly.
Anyway.
I really have. I don't know where
swiftly on.
I don't know where my D&D questions have gone.
Well,
It's fine.
it's not the most important thing of what we do here. So.
It is to me. I really enjoy this part of this. I really enjoy this part.
Don't mess with my system.
Okay, well, just to make you feel bad, we're all going to sit here in silence and have loads of dead air now until.
I found it was in a different section.
Shit. It is.
Okay, Dan.
Yes.
This better be profound.
Could you please discuss the importance of teamwork in D&D and share a moment when a party's collaboration led to a particularly satisfying outcome?
In 2,000 words.
10 words or less, please.
Yep.
I mean, I don't think there's anyone more perfect to talk about this question than me, because I know a thing about not doing teamwork when it comes to the first campaign. I mean, it's the backbone of every good campaign is cohesion within a group. If you don't work together, if you don't want to be in each other's stories, in each other's spaces, in each other's characters' presences, it will just fall apart as quickly as it came together. There is nothing more important than being able to look beyond what people are doing around you to enjoy the moment of the things that are going on. And I say that as someone who has had to learn that many times. But in a moment of pure cohesion that came together for something truly wonderful would be in the last in the last 2 or 3 episodes, when we all hid with a little bit of something from everyone else, from a member of the SBC, wall, paw, sound effects, and then Edivir in the garbage. It was
Doing what I do best.
It was, that was a beautiful moment, and we all
That's going to stay with me as well, for sure.
Yeah.
I've noticed there has been an increase in that kind of like, right, everyone do your thing. Like this campaign. It's been really fun.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, that about wraps up all of the announcements. Thank you very much for that insightful answer, by the way, Dan. I may have just brushed past that answer, but it was really, really good. Thank you. Sorry. How rude of me. If Evan was here, I'd be right on track, but he's not, so it's thrown me. So that about wraps up all the announcements for this evening. Apart from, I need everybody apart from Han to roll me a d20, please, so we can find out who is going to be recapping for us next week. I didn't even have the thing written down. I'm
so proud of you.
I
You remembered something. Well done.
Every week now. I'm just
Sorry.
I'm sorry. So proud of myself.
I'm so fucked.
I'm just going to say, if anyone gets lower than a 1...
Thank fuck for that. I got a 9.
Okay then, cool.
Let's just make this quick.
Cool.
Sorted.
Pull off the band-aid.
Yep, we're good. Natalie, you're going to be taking some notes for us, and you're going to be recapping for us next week. So, as I say, that about wraps up the announcements. So, if you haven't already, go and get a drink. Get comfortable as we dive into tonight's episode of Tales on Tap.
Diary, I finally have you back. Things are just non-stop over here. It's becoming a bit of a struggle to keep track of everything, to be honest. Virgil thinks that it might be more keeping track of time that I have problems with, rather than my memory itself. He might be onto something. Everything just seems to blur into one. I lost them all earlier. We were leaving that posh bloke's house who seems to want to leverage our freedom and use our efforts to gain a more powerful position in the government. I normally love everybody, but other than an incredible dress sense, I don't have much to write home about with him. Anyway, I faked a heart attack to divert attention from Eddie, and then the next thing I remember, I'm flying through walls. I really need to check if Dennis's wife is okay. I didn't know where to go to find them. I was lost, and all I could think was to go home, to Moore and Essen. But on the way, this old woman offered to help, and it's an old woman, I'm going to accept. They're normally really friendly, but then her fingers started growing, and then I was unconscious before waking up in a weird cave and her threatening to eat me. Very concerned that there's some child kidnapping operation going on in the lower city, honestly, but someone else was there as well, who said that they would let me go on the condition that I did them a favor when they came calling. They threw their business card at me and then, poof, gone. I managed to get out and get back home. Moore was so worried. I feel so awful I never told her about my side business, but I needed some kind of freedom. They'd kept me safe for so long, but I felt trapped, almost. But maybe they are right, and I am safer just staying inside. I mean, look at the mess we've gotten into now. Things are really scary. I don't even feel like any of this is real, if I'm real. No, chin up, Kyria. You're fine. Listen, I don't know how, but everyone managed to find me there at the Artful Lodger. They all came in and got to meet Moore, and I'm not sure what happened when I went up to my room, but I know they probably got on incredibly well and are going to be the best of friends. Oh, also, Moore gave me these earrings that belong to my mama, and it's like I can hear her playing the harp in my head again. It's beautiful. We had to leave quickly, and if I say so myself, I did an incredible job of leading everyone to the lift down to the lower city and spooking the sleepy guard into not coming after us, and I'm sure everybody would agree. Anyway, we are back in Tanner's cool secret room now, and I'm not entirely clear on what the plan for tomorrow is. A lot of ideas were floated in the air, but Virgil's next to me right now, writing a list. He's got really nice handwriting. I think we definitely need to find... Yes, he's got safe house written on there. We definitely need to find a safe house. Gods, I've missed them all so much. They're just wonderful. I will be honest, though, today's worn me out quite a lot, and I keep checking to make sure that I'm still corporeal, which is a new thing to be checking every night. It's going to be a habit, I think. But I'm going to go to sleep now, and hope that I'm still here tomorrow. Love always, Kyria.
Very good, thank you. So...
They're fine.
The group... The group find themselves in the attic loft space of the Tanner's Mark. The day before long, arduous. Are the SBC still hot on their tails? Will the City Watch ever stop in the pursuit of justice? We'll find out. We gather with this group the following morning. Or is it morning? Could be in the evening. You're in the UC. So daytime, nighttime, it all kind of molds into one at this point. But you've had a long rest. Most of you have rested up throughout the night. Various members of the party have taken watch throughout the night, leaving Liana the last person awake. Just as the morning comes and everybody starts to awake, Liana hears a scratching at the window. Odd scratching. As Liana looks over, she spots a small black bird perched on the window ledge, and as soon as their eyes meet, it takes flight off into the UC. Liana, we start with you this evening. You find yourself sat at the table, looking over the axe that you got from Gideon. It's a remarkable weapon. Looks barely used, to be honest. Has a shine to it that you've not often seen on weapons that you've held in your hands before. But feels comfortable, nicely weighted, decent balance on it whenever you swing it. But this is where we find you, currently at the table, in the middle of the room, while the rest of the party are currently asleep. Is there anything you'd like to do at this time?
So yeah, while I've been taking watch, I am easily distracted by the axe, and you do find that I am trying to quietly sort of swing it. Like, I know it's not a massive space, so I'm like, giving it a few twirls and just trying to figure out its balance and stuff. Once I notice the bird, that does distract me. Did I notice in the brief moment that I saw the bird whether it had a scar across its eye?
Ooh. Make me a perception check and we'll see.
Was it wearing a suit and carrying a wand?
Just a top hat.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Perception is +3, so that's 19.
19. Yeah, I think you will have done with that roll. You will have seen that there will have been a slight scarring in and around the eye, but the bird took flight off and away, so it was only a brief glimpse.
Okay. Then I am going to look to Kyria, who is probably flat out still snoring, yeah, like that.
Yep.
And instead I'm going to wake Virgil.
Okay.
I'm sorry to wake you, but I think we have an issue. And she's literally standing over you, like this massive.
Well, I've had dreams like this. What's the problem?
There was a bird at the window, a crow with a scar across its eye.
Is he like, for the brief few seconds where he was just sort of waking up and mildly happy, just sort of warm and cozy in his bed, you just sort of see like a genuine sort of unhappiness for the day ahead. Right, okay. That's a problem, definitely. Where did it go? It's not. Well, I assume it flew off.
Yeah, as soon as it saw me, that I saw it, it flew off. You said there was magics to do with tracking on that card, and it also had a scar on its eye. So I can't help but think that's something to do with that.
Potentially the card. It's the only thing. Help me. And he sort of like has you off her
Yank you up, like.
oh, so strong. Right, hold on. Let me.
Oh yeah, sorry. she kind of just turns her back.
He's not naked.
Oh, come on. Virgil definitely sleeps naked, man.
I mean, like, in like a satin bed. Yes, not just this.
Fair enough. He's a hygienic person.
No, he just likes a nice thread count. Bloody hell. So they've already... Curious. Right.
I think we need to burn that card as soon as possible.
Curious got it on the person, haven't they?
I'm not really good with the pickpocketing, but we might have to ask her about that.
We're not touching someone while they're asleep. We'll just wait for them to wake up, and then
Good
we'll
rule.
ask them to give us the card, and we'll just, don't do that. Don't touch people while they sleep, Liana. It's not...
I don't.
I'm just saying, it was your idea. Let's wake up Edivir. He might have a better idea than this. And he sort of stands, looks at everything, just... Eddie?
Dagger flies past your head. What? What's going on?
Just calm yourself. There was a bird at the window. A scarred black bird.
In the undersea, a bird.
Yes, I know. Strange. But there was a bird.
Right.
Oh, you mean like
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
that's weird.
So I just keep catching hand.
Just hear Kiri's head hit the floor as boom.
Well, I mean, we should probably tell Kiri, you know.
Yeah, I just.
Potentially, but what does it mean?
Well, how the fuck should I know? Surely they're the only one who's got answers like that.
Well, I think it's morning anyway, though it's hard to tell. I think we should all get some breakfast and we can discuss it over food. Everything's better over food.
Oh, I couldn't agree more.
We need to figure out our day as well. Exactly what we are going to do.
You hear from the bunk next to you. Well, you're all awake early. What time is it? And Pim just starts like rubbing his eyes.
Morning, Pim.
Time to
Time
wake
for
up.
breakfast.
Morning. Yeah, breakfast. Sure. Just swings his little legs out of the bed and like hops out and goes, "Ugh." And he kind of looks down and you see there's like a little pile of mud with a stick sticking out and he goes, "Morning, Bark." And just begins to walk over to the wash basin and pulls a stool across and hops up on it and starts washing himself down for the morning.
Leanna's going to kneel beside her Kiria's bed rather than loom over her. And she's just going to gently sort of shake
I'm
her
on the
shoulder.
top bunk.
Still almost need that. Okay? So she's just going to gently shake your shoulder.
No response.
It's like
Leanna,
waking a dead
sweet-
person.
That's me. Kiria, sweetie.
5 more minutes.
Snooze.
Okay, we'll make you some breakfast. Well, we'll get some breakfast, then we'll wake you again.
I can get up. I can get up. You are all incessant morning people. Hello.
Good morning.
Hi.
Him just spins round on the thing and just waves and goes back to washing himself.
Hi, Pim.
Did you sleep well?
Oh, you know, less than I'd like. A couple of odd dreams, but nothing to write home about. I typically have quite vivid dreams as it is, so no different.
Right. While these boys talk to you about something, I'm going to go and ring the bell. As she goes and rings the bell for Tanner.
Have I done something?
Okay, I guess Mother's going to have to deal with this. No, can we have the card back, please, Kiri? Just, we need to look at something.
Sure. I take it out, and then is Dag looking like evidently confused, like you're doing now, Chris?
He's a bit like, he looks like over at him like, what for kind of thing. There's like a.
I was looking at it last night. The art on it's quite nice, but yes, of course.
Give me about 10 minutes. I'm just going to check something, okay? Nothing to worry about. If it's perfectly normal, just very lovely playing card, I'll give it back to you. I just need to.
Oh, it's mine, so you'd give it back to me regardless, right? That's how it works.
Absolutely. You don't worry. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just making sure
Dag,
that
what's
I can
going on?
calm down.
A bird
sure.
came to the window last night. One with a scarred eye like the one on your card.
Oh,
Wasn't last night. It was like probably about 10 minutes ago now.
Oh,
I run to the window.
Okay, you rush across the room, over to the window, and start looking out. Make me a perception check, please. While you're doing that, Leanna, you ring the bell. A moment or two passes, and the bell rings.
I think it's safe to go down. So maybe after whatever you're doing. I don't really like ringing this bell and then having him wait on us. So maybe I should just go down and you guys can join us after you've done what you need to do.
Sure.
Hi.
I'm going to wander up to Virgil doing whatever he's doing as Kiri's looking out, and I'm just going to say, sorry.
No, you're okay.
Just say that. Go on.
Just going to say, look, I know you're trying to help, but we probably shouldn't go messing with things we don't understand out of blind caution.
As like you see Virgil sort of he's placed his spell book down, sort of placed the card in the center, and is just with one of his nails just drawing a circle in like sort of these sort of slightly greenish yellow sparks around it. I'm not messing with anything. I'm just detecting if there is something in it that might detect us or potentially lead him to us. If there is such a thing, it's destroyed. If not, it's just a card. But I just want to be sure there is no magic.
We're not destroying anything.
Why? We don't know these people. They kidnapped Kiri in hopes that they could use them. Why would we want to associate with people like that?
That's up to Kiri.
It's up to all of us. We're a group.
We'll have to make our own decisions.
Are you ready to go downstairs? You can join me downstairs and wait for the others.
Yeah, sure. I could do with something to eat, really.
I thought so. And she does exit with him in hand.
Okay. 13, you look out, Kiri, onto the kind of scape of the Undercity. Nothing really catches your eye at first, but then you do spot a few houses away, perched on top of one of these kind of like shanty town built huts that litter the Undercity. Perched on top is a black bird.
Okay.
Seemingly keeping itself to itself, and is just currently lifting a wing up and picking at feathers. Doesn't seem like its eyes are like glaring towards you or anything like that. Just seems to be kind of keeping itself to itself.
It's still there.
The pigeons aren't real.
But just, I understand where you're coming from. I do. But people need to make their own decisions. People need to, make their own mistakes. Pim said he could find Kiri, and he believed in himself. We had to let him try. It's how we grow. It's how we get better. It's how we learn. And we don't know enough about this yet, or what it means that destroying that might not put us all, and especially Kiri, in more danger.
Okay, fine. Just let me check it, and I will give it straight back. Just give me a minute.
Sorry, the bird is still there. A few houses over. Doesn't seem to be doing anything. But I did hear you say destroy, and I would really rather we didn't do that, simply because, listen, it might just be a lot of, the stories I've read or things like that, but if I were to think about the words that were exchanged, should that be a deal that is binding magically, then that could potentially forfeit my life, and I'd really rather we didn't go down that road.
Fair enough. Let me just make sure that whatever this is, was there anything else left? Was there anything else special about that moment? Was it just the card? Was there anything else that they could have done?
Not particularly. I mean, it was... Well, it depends. I didn't catch a glimpse of the person there at all. I just heard their voice, and...
When you opened that note last night...
Yes.
It was with the medallion that you bought from Vesper.
The trinkets, yes.
Did they mention anything about that? Could that have some connection? Is that maybe what they're after?
No, so it was around my neck. Obviously, I put it on, and then when I woke up, it wasn't. But they hadn't taken it. It was just wrapped up in my things with that note by it, tied up with this yarn. Oh, don't need that one anymore.
But they did take it off you
Yes, they did.
to put in the note.
And the note said to be more careful next time. I mean,
Yes.
this is what I mean. To me, it sounds like whoever this Raven person is, the scarred Raven, sounds to me like they're looking out for Kiri. Do we really want to destroy that link out of blind caution? And
I mean, maybe it's just differences of lifestyle, but that doesn't sound like someone who's looking out for someone to me. That sounds like someone who has kidnapped someone, tied them to something in somewhere they don't know, to eventually Shanghai them into something they want them to do, because Kiri, as well as all of us, are wanted. I just don't... Again,
That's
difference of
exactly what Gideon's
perspective.
done.
Do you mind if I check your medallion as well? I won't do anything to it. I'm going to give it back to you.
I already did the identify thing on it, and I couldn't detect anything wrong with it. But yes,
That's fine. I'm just... Give me 10 minutes and it'll all be over, and I can be sound and we can just get on with our day. I just want to see what I can find.
Okay, so what is it exactly that Virgil's doing at the moment?
So I'm doing detect magic on these 2 items.
Of course you are.
So as,
and in this instance, we genuinely do want to know the type of magic.
yeah.
Magic will not suffice.
So
you know,
Googling.
spying magic is divination, just so you know.
So as you watch, as the playing card is in the circle, Virgil sort of shifts it to one side and draws another circle next to it. And with his nails, as he pushes the 2 circles on the table together, and you watch the spark sort of burn through the table but not scar it, it comes together in this sort of like eye shape, and the 2 items just raise up in the air as more like these small circles start to just encompass around it from the ones on the table. And it's this sort of very geometric, just slight movement of things around as they just hover in midair, and you just sort of concentrate and seems to be getting a feel for the magic.
Okay, no problem. In the meantime,
I'm going to go get my dagger out of the wall.
no problem. In the meantime, Liana, you and Pim start making your way downstairs into the main area of the Tanner's Mark, and you see Tanner currently in the middle of the bar with a brush, just kind of like brushing up from the night before, and he goes, morning.
Good morning.
How are you two doing, all right?
Yeah, we're doing good. Is there any breakfast going?
Yeah, sure, I can fetch you something. What do you want?
Have you got anything hot? Like, bacon?
Yeah, I can rustle something up. That's fine. Yeah, is this for everybody?
No, she's gonna want fruit. Yeah, so just some bits of meat and some fruit will be fine. Kiria, I don't think is big into the meat.
Right, yeah. Sure. Take a seat at one of the tables here. I'll go and rustle something up. Hey, before I forget, just remind me before you go, there's someone I wanted to talk to you guys about.
All of us?
Yeah. Just a little favor that I need to ask you all. Look, I'll go and get some food.
Okay.
Do you guys want something to drink? I got a nice pot of hot brown morning potion brewing.
That would be amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Take a seat. Here, Pim. And he hands Pim the broom, and he goes, I've done most of it. If you could just get that last little bit over there. And Pim just goes, sure. Okay.
Leanna just makes her way to the table and puts her feet up and watches Pim do the rest of the brooming.
Pim is essentially like taking 5 steps, putting the brush down, and just walking back 5 steps, and then just repeating that process, like systematically to get the rest of the bar. Tanner goes off into the back where the kitchen is. A few moments later, comes back with a nice pot of hot brown morning potion, puts it on the table, kind of gives you a couple of tankards and a couple like wooden cups and what have you, and places a few bits of cutlery and things down on the table, and goes, hey, look, are you guys planning on staying the night again? Just again, it's purely so if anybody else comes in, I can make sure the rooms are ready and if it's available this evening. Or
I don't think so, but they shouldn't be long. They shouldn't be long, so I will ask them as soon as they come down.
All right. Yeah, sure. Hey, look, I'm just gonna go and fix some food up for you guys. Make yourself comfortable. I think there's the Skyhaven news scroll on the counter over there. If you want to give that a bit of a read.
Oh, brilliant! And she beelines to grab it. Yeah.
Okay. And then Tanner kind of like just nods politely, walks back off into the kitchen. You can hear like pans and bits of like metal on metal scraping as like you can quite clearly hear him like just jostling about with lots of different pots and pans in the kitchen while he's getting your breakfast ready.
I'm gonna open the news scroll, and she's not big with the reading, so she's looking at pictures. Yeah.
Okay.
That's my barbarian. That I can take from that.
Okay, so you're not actually reading any of the articles or anything like that. You just see if you kind of like open the scroll, there's no pictures on it. There's well, in fact, I say that's a lie. There is a picture. There is one of what looks to be a human with kind of a straw hat on, holding like a marrow, but it's like a big marrow, and he's like got a big smile on his face holding this thing up. Where it says like a bit of a title on it to say the autumn harvest champion, and you just kind of like see this big dude with a big like ear to ear grin with this marrow in his hand. Yeah. No other pictures apart from that one article. You do see some of the headlines of some of the articles are written in a bit bigger writing and a bit bolder to kind of step out from the page. You see that there is an advertisement for the upcoming gladiatorial event that's going to be happening next week.
She would, if noticed that, she would read that bit.
Okay, so looking at it, you just see that the kind of main... The main card, the title fight, so to speak, the crowd bringer, is two people that you haven't actually heard of before, two gladiators from two houses that you've again fought against, warriors from their houses yourself not previously, not your house. There doesn't seem to be any mention of any gladiators from your house in the bout for next week, and again that kind of like jumps off the page a little bit, like you don't see any familiar names or anything. You see another article on the news scroll that stipulates that the Windmere lottery numbers, again scribbled underneath it, no winners.
Rigged.
Again, you see a couple of other like smaller little bits on there about like properties for rent, properties for sale. There's a bit of a section with people looking for like people are offering work. In this one little section. And then the biggest article is that you see that there was an ambassador from Evercrest attending Windmere in the coming weeks to discuss a trade dispute that has been ongoing between the people of Windmere and Evercrest. She would have
stopped reading at that point. She'd be like, yeah, that's fine. She's folded it back over and she's put it next to the coffee pot for the rest of them to read when they want to come down.
Okay, is there anything else you'd like to do?
No.
Okay. Pim, after finishing brushing the floor, kind of makes his way over to the table, hops up on a chair, and he goes, I don't really like hot brown morning potion. To be fair, I only drink it every now and again. It's okay. It's okay. When Tanner comes back,
nice
I'll ask
with
for
a bit of sugar.
I'll try it. Sugar. Sure.
And she pours him out a small one and heaps like 4 sugars into a very small cup. You know,
it's going to be off his head.
Sure, no problem at all. Meanwhile, back in the loft space of the Tanner's Mark, we rejoin Edivir, Virgil, and Kyria. Virgil, 10 minutes or so passes, and you manage to cast Detect Magic. Just confirming that the 2 items you're casting this on are the
playing card and the pendant.
The pendant and the playing card. So both have got schools of magic attached to them. You see that the pendant has an enchantment is enchantment magic.
Okay.
And I just need to triple check.
Necromancy.
Yeah. Transmutation. It is.
It's a person.
The mimic.
It is. It is divination magic.
On the what? Sorry, the card.
On the playing card, yes.
Yeah. Excellent. As you sort of see his nail sort of almost feeling like it's like an invisible force in there, and just sort of almost pulling at things, and like almost like invisible strings, just sort of pulling, and see little vibrations wobble through it, and as it sort of dissipates away, and they just gently return to the table. Well, pendant is fine. It's an enchantment of some kind. I'm sure you can use it for whatever it was. I didn't identify it, but as long as it's good, it's good.
Well, when I identified it, it was, give you extra bit of luck. Lucky charm.
Sorry, you have a pendant of luck?
That's what that is, yes.
You generally see sort of like a... Okay, calm down there. Like, sort of like a real sort of like excitement. That's one of the rarest magic items, and okay, that's fine. No, it's yours. It's beautiful. You wear it as you want.
Wait, did you say it was rare? And by that token, I assume expensive.
Well,
not the kind of thing someone would throw away or flush down the toilet, basically.
No,
unless they had very good reason to.
Enchantment magics that deal in luck are not few and far between, but they are hard to come by. It's difficult to, affect fate with something so small. So to find it here is a stroke of luck. No two ways about it. But it's fine. The card, however, does have divination magic attached to it, which could mean one of a few things, but there is something in it. I can't pull the spell precisely, but the school of magic is divination, which, as you know, means seeing, hearing, sensing, in the ether from far away. It's there. Kiri, the card is yours. I will not think in your stead, but I will warn you both. That is what is there.
Well, I mean, I would assume there would need to be some kind of connection between myself and the individual. They said that I know when they called. I just assumed that, I don't know, maybe the scar on the crow's eye would flash red. Like, it's time to do the thing, whatever the thing might be. I don't know, I didn't really think about it too much. I just thought that, there might be, excuse you, Natalie. I know you're muted, but I see you. I didn't question it too much, but that would be divination magic, right? Just an existing link persisting across time, ready to make a call type of thing.
Pretty much, yes, but it's the call I'm concerned about. It's not like this person came up to you forthright and said, I want to help you. Here's a card for when you so may need me or I may need you. This was you in a room tied to a chair with no belongings, talked to from the dark.
He came up to me when I looked like a child. I'm really quite concerned about this.
That's really not a...
Wasn't that the old lady?
Favour.
Yes, the old lady brought me to this person. They worked together.
Ah.
I swear I saw the old lady's fingers grow.
Longer or...
Yes, longer.
Right.
I don't know. I was being knocked unconscious at the time, so I'm not entirely sure.
If you feel like it's in your best interests to allow them to continue to know where you are, potentially hear what you and the rest of us are saying, then it's a big risk, but you're the only one who experienced it.
Well, maybe it's that I've read too many novels about fey deals and things like that, but I do worry that they said, in exchange for me not killing you, you do me a favor. If I abandoned the possibility of doing said favor, is there some magical consequence that could wind me up dead?
It might be best for now to let them know where we are rather than have them hunting us down. It's one more problem that we're not equipped to deal with right now. So provocation could lead us into a worse situation. But definitely try to keep it away.
Yes.
If you insist on keeping it.
I would rather keep it until we know more, if that's okay.
As you guys are finishing this conversation, the bell near the door rings again.
Darling, we're coming. I know you miss me.
It's more to tell you that your breakfast is ready, and it's getting cold, so...
Breakfast is ready, and it's getting cold, apparently.
Stands up from the table, dragging his chair legs, and walks straight out.
Kiria is going to linger and shove all of their stuff that is still scattered across the floor into their satchel, and then going to head down.
He's going to do his best to help fold some things nicely, maybe some of the bracers, and just make sure they're rolled into a nice little sort of thing. So there's correct storage in the bag. At which point, he'll go as well.
Okay. You all make your way down to the bar level of the Tanner's Mark after collecting all of your belongings, where you're greeted by Pim and Liana, who are currently sat on a table in the middle of the room, and Pim just goes, "Hi guys, morning, is everyone okay?"
Why have you got a mop?
I was helping Tanner out with a quick job, and then I sat down, and then I'm now having some hot brown morning potion, which is really delicious, and I really think that it's the right start to anyone's day.
Not wrong.
Look at Liana and
She does have
But
this
Lord
sort of
Essen told me never to have.
mischievous sort of knowing what she did.
Oh my goodness.
So,
I feel like I should have some.
well, you should. It's really, really good. But I'll put you a cup. Wait. And while I'm doing that, maybe we should decide on what the best course of action is today. So I was thinking last night before I went to bed about the plans that we were having, and I think if we were to go and look for a scratch, like as Edivir said about having a scratch, because a scratch is a place that we can lay down low. But maybe I think before we go and find a scratch, we should actually try to look elsewhere, because we don't know about the scratch, and if we know that there is going to be apothecaries and yeah.
Why did you stop him?
just can't slow down. Breathe.
I probably shouldn't have had that second cup. Here, and hands Kiria a cup of hot brown morning potion, and just kind of sits down, and you can see that he's visibly Pim's just kind of breathing a little bit heavier, and he's like,
enough of that for now. Stick to milk or something like that.
There's also a news bulletin if anyone wants to have a look at it.
I'll scry through it quickly. As he sort of walks around and picks it up, grabbing some bacon in hand, and just... Oh,
the bacon's not there yet, because Tanner has not come back from the kitchen as yet. Yeah,
he wants to, and then gets disappointed because there is none as well.
Reaches to where he thinks bacon might be, and hits table. Goes, used to the good life.
Greasy?
Well, no, actually, I mean, Pim, you are right. It's worth getting at least a temporary rendezvous point somewhere.
Yeah.
I did note actually in that paper there, Virgil, there is houses to rent. I don't know if where they are. I didn't really look at it that much, but there might be somewhere cheap too. There's also jobs.
God knows we need a few of those. And Virgil's very much scouring from page to page, looking for things about our names, 5 convicts, anything to do with prison escape recently, and just things of that, and then the jobs, see what there is and what these houses are about as well.
Okay, no problem. In the meantime, Tanner does come out of the kitchen with a tray, kind of going, morning. Hey, I fetched you all some food, and puts it down, and there's some hard-boiled eggs, a little bit of bacon, some fruit, a few rounds of, like, bread that he's kind of, like, toasted, but, you know, when, like, you feel your toaster is on the blink, and it only, like, half toast something, so it's like
Raw on
just on the turn of being toasted, like bread like that, and he kind of goes, here, help yourselves. How are we all? Good morning, you three.
Glad to have woken up, to be honest with you. Dag starts like constructing an everything sandwich. So like he just takes two of the bits of bread, puts an egg in, puts a bit of bacon in. He gets the last of the cheese that he got the other day, which is a little bit on the turn, crumbles that on the top. Some crisps that he stole from the bundle last night. Literally just piles a little bit of everything he has into this sandwich and then just kind of crushes it down. And there's lots spilling out of it, but continues to talk as he eats this horrific sandwich.
From over the paper, you just see Virgil's eyes. Just, oh, do me one of those, will you?
Do your own. But yeah, no, we're pretty good. Yesterday was a rough one.
Yeah, you all look like you needed a good night's sleep, and I'm glad you had one. Look, I gotta go and clean up, but look, before you go, just give me a holler. Something I wanted to talk to you guys about.
Absolutely.
Yeah, eat your breakfast. Eat your fill first. I got a couple of bits I need to do in the kitchen, so. And he just kind of turns, and before he does, he kind of like stops and turns back and goes into his apron and pulls out a singular orange and puts it down in front of you, Kyria, and then just kind of like goes, yeah, and just kind of like scurries off.
We need to find a way to keep Tanner.
Kira has like almost downed this hot morning brown potion and kind of puts it down. She's just like, whoa. Okay. No. This is good. This is good. I can focus.
See?
This is okay. Okay. Let's make the most of this. Right. This is likely going to fade rather quickly, but I can keep track of things now. So we wanted to get a base. Yes, a base of operations that we can easily access and come back from and go to whenever we need. We need to try and see if there's some kind of alchemist or someone who can identify the compounds within the flux that has been stated, and potentially we can track those back to where they belong outside of Skyhaven, because it is likely that they're not from Skyhaven themselves, because otherwise an operation like that would have likely been hustled by now, surely. Either that, or they're being protected by those in charge.
So I'm going to lean over to Pim. Is this freaking you out as much as it's freaking me out?
Pim just kind of leans in and goes, yes, but it's glorious, and I think they might be onto something.
Well,
the paper slowly drops as Kiri just rambles off this very coherent sentence. Okay, everyone remember, Kiri is coffee powered.
well,
to do with the base, Tanner did actually ask if we were going to stay here another night, that we should tell him so he doesn't book it.
Okay.
I think booking another night as a precaution might be a good idea, just in case we're not able to find anything suitable. But
I do, however, worry about staying in one place for too long.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's better off that we find somewhere and move on. Really, we probably want to get out of Tanner's hair anyway. We've already brought quite a bit of heat down on him.
Yes.
My only worry is that anywhere half decent in the Undercity, any structures or, alleyways are most likely going to be occupied one way or another.
What about outside of Windmere? Just on the outskirts. I'm not entirely sure about the patrols around the lower city entryway, but I can't imagine they'd be too tight. Would there...
You mean outside of the city proper?
Yes.
Outside the walls? Outside the walls,
yes. Obviously, I don't know about the patrols or anything. I haven't ventured that far.
DM, do I know if there's checks in and out of the actual city proper, right? To the outside Skyhaven?
I don't think you've actually ever tried. from what you told me.
Yeah, no, probably right.
So I don't know if you'll have known, but you do know from what Pim just kind of pipes up at this point and goes, when I ran those people over with the cows, there was definitely guards at the gate. That's how I got caught.
And was that the lower city?
I don't know.
Well, I mean the agricultural district is typically located towards the outer regions of any town or city, so...
This is going to take some getting used to. I've only just gotten used to Kyria as you are, so...
Does anyone have a flask? Because we should take some of this with us.
Yeah, might want to get some to go, but... well, yeah, I mean, it potentially adds another obstacle in our way to actually getting around the city. You know, at least in the UC, we have 3 known ways up, including the lift. We'll have to find a more discreet way of getting in and out if we're to try and find somewhere to hold up outside the city.
What about just the lower city?
I mean, yeah, that's an option.
There's no wall between the lower city and the middle city, right? It's only the upper city.
However, we do know that there will be a SBC presence around the Artful Lodger, so it would have to be away from there.
Yeah,
I would suggest that anyway. We wouldn't want to put more in danger.
Yeah, the lower and middle city are a big place. You know, it's easy to put distance between us and important locations, but
and we can also, Kiri, you can do that cool thing where you make yourself look like somebody else. If you can do that with all of us, or we all get like the ability to do that, then
I am not in. I don't think I could do that. I've never tried. I don't believe that would. I feel like we'd all just have a slightly different ear or nose. I don't think it would actually change. I don't think I'm that powerful. I appreciate your faith in me, though.
I think as long as we... Sorry.
No, go on.
As long as we don't make ourselves too obvious. I mean, cloaks, basic disguises to avoid anyone catching sight of our faces and stuff like that will probably do for moving around, as long as we stay out of the main roads.
Tanner, darling, do you have those, the necklaces?
Don't hear any response. And he just kind of pokes his head out of the kitchen and goes, yes. Can you please, like, I'm like
in
15.
his head on purpose. I just go, could you potentially get them for us? Would we be able to borrow them again?
He just kind of goes back into the kitchen, doesn't even respond to you.
I don't think he likes it when you do that.
It's funny, he does really.
I know, it is really funny.
There isn't any of those houses for rent or places for rent in the lower city, is there, Virgil?
Well, on that, Virgil, you don't get anything from the paper about the breakout or anything on you guys or anything like that from the paper. You do see, if you're looking at the places to rent, there is 3 places currently up for rent, 2 within the lower city and 1 within the middle city. One is a house near the market in the middle city. They're looking for 150 gold pieces a week. There are 2 in the lower city. One is offering a sort of like a studio apartment type deal. So kind of all in one room, kind of bed-sit style property. Says ideal for students. So that kind of gives you an idea of the kind of place you're looking that you're looking to rent. That is currently sat at 65 gold pieces a week. And then there is a room available for 25 gold pieces a week.
Okay. Just as I'm looking through the paper as well, are there any particularly interesting articles of note that I read as I'm trawling through sort of the paper as a whole? Anything interesting in? Not
really. No, it's kind of like a lot of it is fluff, like fluffy news pieces, like you know, kind of tabloid shit.
Biggest Merwin show, yeah,
exactly. Things like that, like you know, tap dancing competition to be held at the Drunken Skunk type deal, right? That kind of fluff piece is in there. How climate change is killing, Skyhaven, and we should all probably recycle more. Bits and pieces like that.
Yeah.
But nothing really stands out. When you kind of look in, because you mentioned earlier about the jobs that are currently there, there are a couple of jobs that kind of, people want gainful employment. So there is a vendor at the market that wants to hire somebody full-time at the marketplace. There is another statement that says adventurers wanted. Orcish raiders running rampant on highways near Windmere.
Cool. And nothing about Flux either.
No.
Nothing, no news sightings or...
No, nothing actually. And it kind of strikes you as a bit odd, that, because given the current epidemic that has hit Windmere, there is nothing in the Skyhaven news about it, especially after hearing the broadcast 3 or 4 days ago. Doesn't seem to be anything in the current paper. As you guys are all eating breakfast and stuff, eat your fill, Tanner comes out, and as you guys are finishing up, and goes, hey, look, I hope you don't mind me asking, but I need a favor, if you don't mind. Little job that I need carrying out. Something kind of came my way yesterday. I need to get this thing to one of my contacts up in the lower city, if you don't mind. Just a quick errand, take it up there, drop it off. You don't mind?
You've done us a massive favor so far. I mean, I can't imagine why we can't do that. When we were talking about going to the lower city anyway, so...
Should we expect any issues along the way?
Not from this. This is just a simple pickup delivery job. Look, it's just... And he goes under the counter and pulls out a small box and goes, so look, if you don't mind, it's just this. They're expecting it today. That, the sooner you can get it over to them, the better. You're gonna go and see a friend of mine called Alara. She owns a shop in the lower city called the Hidden Star.
Hidden Star?
Yeah, the Hidden Star. It's somewhat of a lost and found shop, should we say, if you catch my meaning.
Yeah, I think we've already been to one of those down here.
Oh, it's much better than that place. This person... Look, if you manage to find something that wasn't yours to begin with, but might be recognizable by other people, then...
They're a fence.
They are a fence, yeah.
It's fine. We'll see what we can do.
Yeah, look, try if you can, here, and he kind of puts it on the table, you can just drop that off. Might be good to make an introduction. You can tell them that obviously you work for me. Obviously you don't work for me, we work together, but you tell them that you do, and that gains repute and all that. And look, they might even be able to help you out in whatever way they can.
I don't suppose you might know somewhere where we can meet someone who has a good knowledge of alchemy, an apothecary, something along those lines.
An apothecary?
Or an alchemist, or a herbalist. We're trying to find out more about this flux stuff.
Yeah.
Or a chemist.
Well, you got a couple, really. Especially in Windmere, you've got a couple. You've got... you could go to the Phoenix Feather Apothecary. That's in the middle city. It's just north of the marketplace near the wall. Or you could go to the Potioneer's Parlor. That's in the lower city. Again, they usually have their shops full of elixirs and remedies. The Phoenix Feather is more, ingredients and such, but I know that the owner there kind of dabbles in potion making and potion craft. You have got the Alchemist Alcove, but that's in the high city. Yeah, that's really... Yeah. Or, I mean, the Wandering Wares, but That's only if you're looking to buy potions. They're not really those that kind of brew them, travel around the city, put in.
Yeah, we're more looking to have something analyzed than to purchase anything.
Oh well, then yeah, that's where I would go really if I was looking. You have got also the Mystic Emporium. That's in the middle city, but that's again more if you want to be buying kind of more rarer elixirs and potions and items and things. But
do either the Phoenix Feather or the Potioneer's Parlor deal with a more discerning clientele? Which is more likely to report us at first sight?
Oh, well, look, I mean, shopkeepers are shopkeepers, right? It's more, if you go put coin across hand, then you can often buy silence and goods. I wouldn't imagine that anybody's going to report you. I would probably steer away from the high city, though, mainly because you've got, a lot more of the SBC presence there. So maybe the Alchemist Alcove is a little bit out of reach for you, but
yeah.
I'd start at the lowest city. I'd probably go to the Potioneer's Parlor and then go from there, maybe. But it's up to you, and that they're the places that I would say if you're looking for that kind of thing.
Thanks for your help. Again.
Oh, of course. And thank you. I really, I really appreciate you doing me this favor. Yeah, look, just ask Alara, tell her that I sent you, and then, she'll see you right. Look, there's usually coin that passes hand due to delivery. Feel free to pocket that. It won't be much, but it's something.
Every bit helps. What do we owe you for breakfast?
Oh, look, don't worry about it. Look, I asked Leanna here, do you need the room tonight?
We agreed that we probably should. We might not actually use it, but we'll certainly pay for it, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure. I can make sure I keep it free for you guys if you need it.
We're gonna try and find an alternative space to lay low in. We want to get out of your hair. We feel like we're bringing down a little bit too much heat on you.
Right. Okay. Sure. Look, you're more than welcome here, though. I don't want you to feel like you're ever going to outstay your welcome. I need to know in advance if you're going to be here or not. I mean, that's, as I'm sure you can appreciate, it's quite a, a decent place to lay low. There's a lot of people that come here knocking.
Understandable. We'll take it for another night and pay up front, but we may not have need of it in the end.
Yeah, no problem. Sure. And look, if you're looking for somewhere to lay low, maybe speak to Alara. She might be able to point you in a general direction. I don't know how much information she'll be able to give you or help you with, but it's like I said to you the other day, nothing's free in this world. You might have to do something to get something, but worth an ask, I suppose.
Definitely.
Right.
Also, before you disappear, was there any news on that fellow that I asked you to?
Oh, yeah. Thanks. I'm sorry. That completely slipped my mind. Yeah. Look, there's no easy way to say this, but nobody's heard or seen that person since the games.
Right.
I don't know what that means, but that's what I was told. Like,
I noticed actually in the bulletin that there is no one from House Galahad at all.
Oh, you haven't heard?
No.
Oh, yeah. After your little stunt, they've on a little bit of a suspension from the gladiatorial arena. They're not allowed to show any of their fighters or jostle for coin within the fighting pits for a good few weeks, I think.
Serves them right.
Well, yeah, but you know anything about gladiatorial fighting houses, that's the only real way that they kind of make their money. And if they can't make money, then
what happens to the fighters? Yeah, I get it. Thank you for your help. I appreciate that. if any other news comes your way, just let me know.
Yeah, of course.
That was. Thank you.
Of course. Look, you guys stay safe. Look, you're heading to the lower city. If you
probably.
Yeah.
So it's
if that's the case, I probably wouldn't take the elevator. There is a tunnel that leads up towards the lower city near the cemetery.
Okay, yeah, that might help. We know the one that you took us up to the middle city along the eastern wall before.
Yeah, so you want to go... So head as if you're going to go to the lift, but you need to go past it, as if you're going to the right to the back of the wall. And again, it looks like an old sewer pipe. You'll know when you're getting close, because like the ground gets a little bit more moist because of all the flow. But if you remove the grate, hold your nose for a few minutes and just kind of clamber up that pipe, you're gonna get into a tunnel system. It's pretty straightforward. Just keep following through that tunnel system, and it leads you out to kind of an overflow pipe in the lower city. Quite easy to find, easy to navigate. There's no turns. There's no multiple routes. It's just one route, and it might even serve as an easier way to get to and from the UC in the lower city going forward. I just don't want to, getting caught using main thoroughfares,
Yeah, good to know. Thanks.
Well, you guys stay safe, and I'll see you soon.
Oh, and she does take one of her gold out and gives it to him. That's for the room for tonight, just in case we are going to use it.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Payment up front this time. I like that. He kind of puts the coin in his pocket and bids you good day. You guys finish up your breakfast?
I'll drag the box over to me.
Okay.
Kyria has not engaged at all in that conversation because has taken out their diary and has turned to a clear page. And am I able to make an Arcana check to kind of in this hyper-focused, caffeine-driven little moment, am I able to think back on Disguise Self? And when I cast Disguise Self, and can I try to figure out the arcane sigils that form? I want to try and draw that. I want to try and get Disguise Self almost written down.
Okay.
I can do it with I just want to see if I can even if it's just the start of it and it's going to be a process to kind of properly get it.
Okay.
Kyria right now has been thinking can potentially learn to enchant with the help of Virgil.
Okay. Yeah, cool. Make me a history check, but because of your caffeine-driven high, you can have it with advantage.
Hell yeah!
Nice.
Damn, we need to get us some of that shit.
That's a natural 20!
Nice.
24!
Nice.
Oh, baby.
It's almost due to the caffeine that is racing its way through your system right now, you pretty much kind of start drawing them.
Shapes and colours, the likes of which I've never seen!
Exactly. But yeah, you managed to start jotting down the symbols and the sigils that you got, and the kind of the runic parts to the spell, and you start jotting them down in your diary. That's fine.
Yeah, so I've just been sketching that, and then kind of as soon as I've done as much as I can remember, Kyria all of a sudden is back at attention, and it's Virgil.
The paper just... I was done anyway.
I'll take the paper and start reading it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hand it to Dad.
Lovely. So, you guys, for the sake of brevity, finish up your breakfast, pack your belongings up, and make your way out onto the streets of...
About three minutes into reading the paper, Dag's oh, fuck!
Is everything okay?
Yeah, we missed the Harvest Festival vegetable weighing competition.
Do you have vegetables to weigh?
No, but I have hobbies.
I didn't mean to offend. I apologize.
I'm taken.
She kind of just looks at Virgil
Look at the size of that.
Did Kiri get the necklaces? The collars?
Yes. Tanner will have given them, yeah.
Awesome.
Shove them in the bag, and then kind of... I'll just be I'll just show Virgil the sigil and I'll be like, I have an idea, okay? Do not let me forget. And I literally quickly scribble necklaces, then an arrow going, this is disguise self. I close it and I put it in the bag. And I was like, okay, let's go.
Okay.
You sort of see Virgil sort of like tracing it, like, this is good. Caffeine, it's fine.
So you all make your way out of Tanner's Mark using the back door into the streets of the UC. Where do you want to go?
Before we start snooping around down here, should we go take care of this delivery?
I think that's wise, yes.
We need gold.
Roll up a cigarette.
Say that again, Curio?
Oh, delivery? What delivery?
For Tanner.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's worn off.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, that was who you're talking about. Sorry, I was vaguely aware he was there. I was just focusing on something.
Okay.
Okay.
So, what is the best entrance, exit, way up?
Let's try the overflow pipe near the lift.
Oh, the Mario pipe. Yeah. Okay.
Every exit is an entrance.
Not everyone. Right. Let's...
Follow me. And I will try and, as usual, try to take them through alleyways and quiet ways of moving around.
Yeah, no problem. I'll have a group stealth check, please. I shall roll for Pim. Ooh, that's pretty good for Pim. Oh,
Ready?
nice. Pim rolled a 14.
Oh, damn, I rolled a 25.
Sick. Gary?
I got a nat 20, you still beat me. How the hell? I got 24.
Very, very sneaky, sir.
I'm very, very sneaky, sir.
I got a 7.
Nice. Virgil?
I got a 10.
10.
Hey.
I think on average, you guys are moving pretty stealthily. I think, given the kind of half listening that you were doing, Kiri, every now and again, you'll kind of get to the end of an alleyway and you'll just kind of like abruptly turn left and have to be like turned around or like ushered back the right way. And you're like, oh, right, okay.
Yeah,
Which is kind of keeping you a little less stealthy than everyone else because you just kind of decide to keep wandering off in different directions.
Yeah.
You guys make your way across the UC. Nobody really pays you much mind. You're kind of keeping yourselves to yourselves. Given that none of you have had a bath or a shower or anything this week, you're all kind of looking a little bit grim, apart from Virgil, who obviously prestidigitates themselves every morning.
Of course.
But you're all starting to kind of get that 3-day smell hanging around you all. But you managed to...
Potentially noticing us on the walk, Virgil's just going to start prestidigitating people as they go, just like properly cleaning people down, getting gunk and grime and anything off of them.
If Dag notices himself becoming more clean, he's going to turn around to Virgil and say, you realise we're about to climb up a shit pipe, right?
I'll do it on the top as well. Let's...
Yeah. Maybe for the best.
So you make your way across the UC till you get to this sewer. Like this huge kind of like pipe that's sticking out of the side of the wall. And Liana comes and grabs hold of the grate that's against it and just kind of like pulls it off. Comes off a little bit easier than you would have anticipated it would be. Yeah. There's no like dragging it off or anything. You just kind of pull it off and kind of...
Me and Pim will be making sure that no one's watching us do this as well.
Yeah, I mean, because of how easy it comes off, there's no like metal on metal scraping or big clangs of metal or anything. It just very much just kind of goes off and straight down type thing, you know? That was as good as a metal sound as I could have made.
A goat comes out of the pipe.
For more metal sounds, you can listen to us in podcast form to hear this and keep replaying the last 10 seconds.
Truly an immersive experience.
Honestly, it's like you were at the table with us.
If you guys want to go through, I'll put this back on.
I'll go first. I'll whip myself up the pipe.
Nice. It's a straight pipe. You don't have to go up. You just climb into it, and then you kind of like it, kind of hunkered down a little bit. But you start walking in. For the sake of brevity, you all kind of like get into the pipe and replace the grate. There is no light source in here at the moment, so those of you without dark vision are going to struggle a little bit.
I wouldn't recommend striking a match in it.
No. Highly.
Everything in the UC smell.
Does anyone have any source of illumination? I'm getting a little bit blind up front here.
No, I can only make fire, I'm afraid. And you're right, we don't want to blow ourselves up. I can take the lead if you want, or Liana, you should be able to see as well.
I can see fine. I'll take the lead.
Is there no light?
We'll squeeze against the pipe to let you through. No,
Looks normal.
your eyes are glowing.
Yes, I've noticed that before.
That's cool.
As she
Looks
just
normal
leads
to
the way.
Okay. So you all start walking. You kind of go around 10 feet and the pipe just kind of like opens up into what is kind of this small kind of caved walkway. As you keep track of this kind of path, after around 5-10 minutes of walking, Liana, you see that there is a small light source around 50 feet down ahead of you within this tunnel.
From the light source, can I? Am I getting torch or am I getting like sunlight?
Torch.
What sort of-
You kind of it's kind of a very faint flickering of light.
Stop, everybody. There's a torch up ahead. I don't know if there's a person attached to it or if it's attached to a wall.
Can I poke my head round Liana and see if I can make out the light?
Yeah, you can do. Yeah. I mean, a light source. If you kind of like look, it could be 100 feet away in a pitch black space. If you look 100 feet away, you're going to see the only light source available within that space.
Is it illuminating anything around it? Any terrain?
Just the tunnel, really. But given how far it is, maybe a perception check just to see if you can pick out anything this far away.
Nope. That's a 10.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to see, especially given how far away from it you are. But you do see that it's kind of faint and flickering off in the distance.
I mean, I could go check it if you want.
We can all just try and be quiet as we get closer to it. It's far away. I mean, might be able to determine something as we get closer to it.
You can't see.
I think staying together is better, especially if you're struggling to see.
Okay.
And gesture for everyone to move slowly and stealthily
Okay.
down the tunnel.
If everybody is doing so, then I will need a group stealth check at this stage, please.
Would Kim like to cast guidance on someone?
Sure. He will cast guidance on who's the least stealthiest.
I got that 20 as well!
Hey!
Quick, everyone, we need to get into combat.
Sure,
I've
Kiri,
done two
you can
nat
have
20s
guidance.
already.
Oh, cool.
So Pim rolled a 19, you rolled a natural 20. What did you roll, sorry, Liana?
27.
Liana, what did you get?
I got a nat 20 for 25.
God damn.
Fucking hell.
24, sorry.
Kiri, what did you get?
I rolled a nat 1.
Ooh.
For a...
5.
Is that with guidance?
Yes.
Cool.
And 2
Um,
nat 20s.
Yeah. Virgil, what did you get?
11.
11. Okay. So you guys start making your way down the tunnel towards this light source.
Scimitar out, dagger in my offhand.
Okay.
I have my hand axe in my hand.
Pim is going to make a perception check because he's very good at those. Okay. And will guide himself in doing so. So find my d4, 1 second.
Did we really get 2 nat 20s and a nat 1
Yes.
for one check? Jesus.
Yeah. Okay. So, as you guys get closer, and the music kicks back in again.
Oh, no.
Pim just kind of like grabs hold of your hand, Liana, because you're at the beginning, at the front, just goes, shh.
Stop.
Can you not hear that?
What do you hear?
And it sounds like voices. Very faint.
More than
but
one?
yeah. I can hear a couple of people. And now that you guys are getting a little bit closer, you see that the light source isn't actually within the tunnel. It's being shone into the tunnel. So it's actually coming from where the tunnel is. And you can see that the tunnel keeps on going. But it's just, you see the light source is off to one side, but it's actually illuminating a patch of the tunnel around, I'd say you're around 30 feet away from where this light source is as Pim stops you all. Okay, there's definitely more than one. I don't think we're going to be able to... What are we going to do?
Can you hear what they're saying?
No, they're too far away, but I can definitely hear voices.
So if I'm understanding this right, DM, we're coming to what is essentially like a T junction.
No,
with a straight on and a left, or just a left, and that's where the light's coming from.
No. So the tunnel is straight, goes straight on. There is no junction to the tunnel at all. There is just what looks to be a light source coming from one side. Now, whether there's it's been kind of bored out, so there's a bit of a kind of recess in the side, or like a room that's been rudimentarily dug out of this space or something, and that's what's illuminated.
Okay.
You don't know.
Shall I approach, see if I can get a quick peek in there?
Or we can send Bark.
I mean, how quiet is Bark?
Yeah. Bark, I can, but I think Bark just kind of does what Bark wants.
I'm going to say I've got this one.
Okay, well, okay, we're going to stay within 20 feet just in case.
You should still see my silhouette, so I'll wave if...
I mean, I can see up to 60 feet.
well, then you're fine.
Just shout if you need us, I don't know, bananas. If you want us
Bananas
to all
again.
rush in.
All right. If I need you, I'll shout bananas. Don't do anything before then. Pim.
Pim. Pim,
Right.
get on my back.
Pim's
Just in
eyes,
case.
for those of you that are listening at home, Pim's eyes just widen as he's just like, what? Arms up, just kind of looking at everybody else to justify his eyes, but nobody does.
And Leanna does lift Pim and put him on his normal position on her back, just ready to go.
No problem.
Pim, a little tap before I go, if you don't mind.
Sure. And just kind of pats you on the shoulder and casts guidance on you.
Thanks, buddy. I'm gonna sneak up to about 10 feet away from where I see this exposed area with a light shining out of it.
Okay. I'm going to keep you. I'm going to keep
5 feet from the edge.
Okay, I'm going to keep your stealth score because it was a natural 20 and I feel nice. I'm going to keep that. You do, and you kind of duck down, scimitar and dagger in hand, and make your way further into the tunnel till you get to around 10 feet from where this light source is coming from. You see that it is exactly as I mentioned and that you suspected. There is a hole in the side of the tunnel in two parts. So there's one that you kind of get to the edge of, and then around another 20 feet down there is another hole, both on the left hand side of this tunnel. And as you get closer, roll me a perception check, and this is where you can use your guidance because I'm nice. Unless you don't want to, you can use it on another roll if there is another one.
I mean, it's pretty good, but no, I'm going to use it. Okay, that's 23.
23.
Hey.
You kind of put your back to the tunnel wall and just kind of lean towards where the hole in the wall is next to you, and you can hear. Right, well, if you're gonna cook it like that, make sure you turn it over. If you remember the last time you cooked, you only cooked it on one side, you big Norbert. And he just goes, well, if you don't like my cooking, maybe you could step up every once in a while and do it your fucking self. But no, I put the bedrolls out, I cook the food, I clean the bloody cat. Do you know, just ungrateful, and you hear another voice go, "Pack it in, you two, if you wouldn't mind trying to do something. Alright? Just shut the fuck up." "Yeah, you heard him. Shut the fuck up and cook." "Oh, honestly, I'm about to throw this spatula so fucking hard."
Can I try to use my mirror to get a very careful look around the corner?
Yeah, of course. You kind of like use your mirror, and you see there are 3 individuals wearing quite kind of common clothing, but like ripped and torn in a lot of places. And they're kind of huddled over this campfire within this space. 2 of which are kind of huddled over. You can't see the third one, the third voice. You can only see 2 bodies. One just kind of like sat on a rock, leg kicked out, looking towards this fire. Another one kind of crouched down next to it, cooking something, as you kind of like see these individuals.
Okay. I'll move away from where I was and creep back to the group.
Okay.
I'll say, I heard 3 of them. This is all whispering. I'm not going to whisper because you won't be able to hear me, but I'm going to say there was 3 of them. They seem like vagabonds, vagrants. Just seem like they're getting dinner ready. I heard 3 of them, but I only saw 2, and neither of them looked too imposing. We could try to get past without alerting them, or we can let them know that we're passing. We're passing through their territory, so...
What are they doing this far in a pipe?
Same thing anyone else is trying to do in the Undercity. Eke out a living. By the sounds of it.
Their scratch, yeah.
That's right. It's their scratch. At least that's what I was able to gather.
I think we should just try and go past and see if they stop us, then we can deal with it. But I mean, if they're trying to hide out down here, they're probably just going to hide if someone's going past.
Well, I mean, my only other thought is if we're going to be using this as a regular means of passage, do we really want to be wasting spells to conceal ourselves every single time we pass through here, or...
No, that's why I just say just walk past. Let's just own it.
I'm not sure people in these kind of secluded areas like people doing that, but...
I mean, we've come through here once before, like...
We were always very protective of our scratches, put it that way. Anyone trespassing who just knows where we are, when we don't want anyone to know where we are, we see as a threat. So maybe it's worth just clearing the air on that point from the jump.
So you want to talk to them?
I think honesty is the best policy.
I don't want to talk to them. They'll take one look at me and... Yeah.
Well,
They-
who then?
They might. I can talk to them. And she does. She puts her hand axe back on her belt and grabs her great axe.
I think me and you have a similar problem, and I don't think you mean talk to them the same way that we do.
No, I mean talk to them. Just they might listen more intently if they think that other things might happen.
Why don't we
Well,
do both?
Be the backup. Good cop, bad cop. But no cops, because that's something we really do not want to give an illusion that there are some police around here. Okay. Okay. And Kyria starts walking.
Okay,
I walk directly
sick.
behind her. Right, I am right behind her.
Okay. So you guys all as a group start walking up. You kind of all get to the point of the first gap and just all, without really making much of a fuss, step past the first.
Oh,
No,
Are
we're
we-
stepping in.
Are you going in?
well, yeah. I mean, what are you doing? 'Cause I don't...
Oh, I'm going up to that kind of separate that turning.
Mm-hmm.
And do I see them?
If you kind of like get into the space where the wall is bored out, yeah, you kind of like step out and you can see them, like 2 of them by the fire as I described.
Do they look like they're? Because I haven't, as I've gone, I haven't tried to be stealthy. I'm just walking.
Okay.
And I'm kind of rushing.
We're
to keep up
making-
with
we're
her,
making
so
ourselves
probably
known.
they're
Yeah, I
close
don't want to
as
jump
well,
Okay.
scare them.
Okay. As you kind of like get to the entrance, and you step round, you do kick a couple of rocks as you step round, and both their heads just kind of turn and look towards you. You see both are human, both have like matted, one kind of matted brown hair, the other has like very short kind of black hair. Both kind of both humans. They have like scarring on the face. One has a scar that runs right from the temple right down to near the jaw on one side of the face, and they turn and go, well, look
Hello.
at what we have here.
I don't know why you're acting as though that we didn't stumble upon you. Hi. I just wanted to, let you know that we're just traveling through. Didn't want to cause you any alarm or anything like that. We will not be a bother, but we're just going to be passing on.
Well, and the one by the fire just kind of stands up and goes, well, it's not as easy as that. I think that you are trespassing. And you should pay a toll. Ain't that right, boys? See, these here be our parts, you see. So?
Yeah.
Well, technically, sorry, I don't mean to be, finicky about it. Your parts, I would assume, would technically go to this line here and draws a line where, like, the section of the tunnel cuts off that they haven't stepped over. So, you've technically not crossed your area. I just wanted to let you know that if we're going through, which is communal space, not to be alarmed that we will be here, and don't believe we owe you any tolls.
Liana makes herself as large as she can in the small tunnel behind her.
So you're in the doorway of this space. Liana trying to make themselves as big as possible. Liana, out the corner of your eye, further down the tunnel, where the other space is in the wall, you see a flicker of shadow as the other individual steps out and goes and just shakes the head, and the person in the room kind of steps to like a little bit further towards you, Kyria, and goes, well, I think you'll find that communal space is where we fucking decide it is. There ain't no such thing as communal space. This is our tunnel, and if you want to travel through, then your pockets are just going to be a little bit lighter than when they were when you went in. All right?
If that is the case, then absolutely. But if you could pull up the property rights and your ownership of this here tunnel, then I'd be more than happy to pay the toll. However, if you're unable to provide those receipts, unfortunately, there's not really much I could do. And listen, we just wanted you to do you the courtesy of making ourselves known so we didn't scare you. That was all.
You scare us.
Dag will emerge from the shadows as well.
You are in the wrong neighbourhood. You see, ain't no property things here that you are talking about. But let's just put it this way. Either pay the toll, or you might not even be walking out of here. Isn't that right, boys? And the one from the fire stands up and goes, he has got a point, yeah. And look, we, been a few days since our last meal, and could be a few days before our next. So, look, just hand them money over, be on your way, and nobody gets hurt. I'm sure my friend just did 3 times.
No. Asked for, a donation rather than demand a toll.
Look, we just want to move through. I don't care what you want. I'm not giving you gold. So,
if it's food you want, here, and I will throw most of an orange over.
The orange just hits the floor, rolls in the dirt, and just kind of like right ends itself, just covered in things. Well, look at what we have here, Bert. We have a couple of fancy folk who think it's all right to throw food around and get it all dirty.
Well,
you must have a lot of gold. Look!
I can throw a hand axe if you wish.
Make an intimidation check.
Okay. What have I got to intimidation? Oh, it's only +1, so that's an 18.
An 18.
Nice.
the one in the room goes, that would be a mistake on your part.
You've already made a few of those.
The one in the tunnel is slowly walking down.
I'm gonna interpose myself between him and the rest of them.
And in his head, he hears, "You really shouldn't do that."
You lot don't get out much, do you?
One in the tunnel just kind of goes, no, we don't.
You should, especially out of our way.
And you hear,
oh shit.
Oh, hello.
as you see the veins on their necks just kind of like pulse, and this individual's stature just start to grow, and you see their feet just go as these claws just out of their feet and onto the ground, and these huge arms just begin to start sprouting hair, and hands get bigger, and their heads just kind of go.
As he's transforming, I'm going to throw my hand axe at his head.
But before you do, as these individuals begin to transform and shift into these bestial-like forms,
All of them.
all of them,
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Like a ropes!
that is where we're going to take a quick break.
Oh, yes! I'm so excited.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a quick break there. We will be back very shortly, and we're going to see exactly what happens in the tunnels below. Never said there were werewolves. In the tunnels below Windmere. We will be back very shortly. We're probably going to be about 10-15 minutes-ish. We'll try and keep it to 10 minutes if we can during the break, but we'll be back very shortly. We will see you soon. Take care.
You too.
Combat!
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tales on Tap. We hope that you've had a wonderful time during the break. We pick up with you guys in the tunnel underneath Windmere on your way to the lower city. These individuals have stopped you and effectively demanded payment to allow you to venture further on and reach your destination. This was not met well. And through persuasion and intimidation, they seem to be unyielding. Their forms shift and change into these more bestial-like forms. Liana, just before the break, you said that you throw your hand axe down the tunnel towards the one that was changing shape in front of you.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me to hit, please.
Oh, that's not... that wasn't great, but I'm going to use my inspiration that Bazza just gave me before the break.
Hey!
Thank you very much. Because that wouldn't have hit.
Yep.
Oh, much better. That is a 21.
Woo! A 21. Okay,
Yes,
you launch your hand axe towards this individual. Go ahead and roll me some damage, please.
Right, so thrown damage is just the same damage, right?
Yes.
Right, just make
Just
sure.
if it's it'll give you thrown properties and give you two different versions. If it's a thrown item, a thrown weapon, so over a shorter distance it'll do a percentage of your damage. Over a longer distance it would do either. I think it does less.
Yeah, and I think thrown is dex, not strength.
Exactly that.
Right, okay. Okay,
I'm just gonna move the
5
pieces around the
plus
board.
2, not 3. Okay, so that is 7 points of slashing damage.
7. Thank you.
I'm
One
unable to
second.
move my token.
You are fine. 1 second. I'm just moving some things around. I won't be a second.
Oh, this hole is bigger than I thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
What does that appear say, Maggie?
Okay, 1 second. Okay. Oh god, I've given Maggie permission to move that token as well. We don't want that.
Who?
Liana.
Oh, I just got what you meant.
Apologies, 1 second.
I was still saved as Maggie, my Christmas one-shot character. If you guys didn't get a chance to check out the Christmas one-shot, it was bananas.
It was amazing, yeah. Okay, on this, I would like everybody to roll me initiative, please.
And while everyone is rolling initiative, I would just like to say that this combat, for the first time we've had in a while, is sponsored by Tom Kartos Battlemaps. You're about to see... Dan, is this one of his and his tokens?
It is.
It is. You are about to see one of Tom Kartos' maps and some of the tokens that come with it. If you like what you see and want to engage this kind of stuff into your combat, then go to tomkartos.com to find all of his great digital wares and physical copies too.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
Nicely
Okay. Virgil, what did you roll for initiative, please?
I need to roll it now because I was...
Okay. Edivir, what did you roll?
21.
21. Thank you, Liana.
7.
7. Thank you, Kiri.
3.
Ooh.
3. Virgil.
11.
11. Thank you,
Pim?
everybody. I've rolled Pim. Pim got a 3.
Okay.
We know.
Yeah, I rolled a natural 1. Pim got a 3.
Hey, we're the same.
Yay!
Last ones.
Give
Okay.
me rolls ones, yeah.
Okay. As Liana, you and launch your hand axe down the hallway of this tunnel towards... I keep doing it on OBS, not towards this one.
Yeah.
Towards this individual here. You see and look down, and they have rat-like features with elongated kind of snouts and mouths. You see their body now completely covered in hair, apart from on their hands and their feet, which are like of just skin, but this kind of like waxy leather-like looking skin.
Okay.
The axe takes purchase and hits their shoulder as they drop their shoulder down, and they just go
As rats are known to do.
and they race, and the individual races across down the hallway to you, Edivir. And you
Did it
see
make
them.
contact?
Sorry? Yes.
Did my axe make contact? Okay,
Yeah, of course it did, yeah. Well, with a 21 to hit. Yes, it did, love, yeah. Yes, it did. I'm a mean dungeon master, but I'm not that mean. So they have 2 attacks. Their first attack will be made with... We'll try a claw attack to hit you first, Edivir.
Okay.
Does a 11 hit?
No.
Their first, and as they swipe across with their claw to try and attack you with it, they lunge forward to try and bite your arm with the second attack. That will more than likely hit. That is an 18 plus 4. So that will definitely hit.
I'm bit.
You take is 4 points of piercing damage, and I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Ooh.
Habit.
Yikes. Okay, that's not bad. 13 plus 2, 15.
13 plus 2, 15. Thank you very much. You feel this bite
It's borderline,
on
that, innit?
your arm, and you take the 4 points of piercing damage. But it is
Nothing else.
now your go.
Okay.
Nothing
cool.
else that you know of.
Right. Yes. Of course. Okay.
But it is your turn.
I can't really get much on this dude, really. Yeah, I can actually. Oh no, but then I don't want to leave. See, it's getting into a better position, but exposing my friends, or not doing that, and just trying to duke it out.
So for those listening on our newly launched podcast, this is episode 7, part 2 that you've caught up on at this point. For the sake of you guys, the positioning is as such. So Kyria and Liana are very much in the doorway of this open space within the tunnel. Pim clutched on to the back of Liana, on Liana's back. Edivir is just to Liana's right-hand side, interposing between Liana and the were-rat within the tunnel. And we've also got Virgil very much on the left-hand side of Liana, not quite at the entrance to the open space to the side of the tunnel.
Okay, I know what I'm going to do.
Okay.
So I am going to, as this thing sort of bites down on my arm, I'm going to try and swing myself round to this side of it and just kind of try and shove my scimitar into its chest as I kind of push it back against the wall of the pipe.
Yeah, no
with
problem.
A standard attack. That is going to be not great. 9 plus 5, 14 to hit.
A 14 will hit as you find purchase with a scimitar into the side of this rat-like beast creature.
Okay, so that's a d6, 2 plus 3, so 5 points of damage.
5 points of damage, yeah.
Okay, and then I'm going to sort of push it back off my scimitar into the pipe wall, and I'm going to fuck off down this way. So, pardon my language, I'm going to run away down this way. So that was 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Okay, hang on, I can do this better. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. I can get to there.
Yep. So you run away from the group using disengage as your bonus action to not take...
I have the mobile feat and I just attacked him, so he does not have...
Very good.
Very
good. So you... And the scimitar finds purchase in the side of this creature, and you boot the creature off the blade and make your way further down the tunnel to the other opening around 20, 30 feet away.
Yeah, which is the one I saw this guy come out of, right? So I know that that's another entrance into that area.
You will see that.
I'm going to use my bonus action to dash.
Okay,
I'm going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'm going to hide myself in this little nook in the room that they're in.
Okay, so you can't bonus action hide, you just bonus action dash?
No, I'm just keeping out of eyesight for now, keeping out of line of sight.
Yeah, very good, no problem. Okay, anything else on your turn?
That's my turn.
Okay. So the creature that is roughly around 10-ish feet away from you at this point, Kyria, just kind of goes and just races forward towards you to here, to the side of you, to your left-hand side. And as they race across, they with a claw attack to try and hit you as they race past. That is 11 plus... That's a 15 to hit.
Hits.
Will hit. You take... Oh, rubbish on the die. Rubbish. That is 2 points of slashing damage with the first claw attack. And they will then... Yeah, they're going to take the bite action as their second attack against you, Kyria.
Okay.
Oh, not as good. That is a 12 to hit.
Doesn't hit.
12 misses. As they... to try and bite down, you just manage just quickly enough to move out of the way of the snapping jaw as it clumps down next to your arm.
Kyria's back just bends backwards.
Okay. Next in initiative is Virgil.
Oh, God. Cool. Okay. No, because if I do that, I'm going to make myself a target. Okay. Right, seeing in the darkness these what were once people that are now big rat people. Virgil is going to move backwards towards this wall here
Yeah.
because that is a safe option because I am a wizard. For those of you on the podcast.
That's going to be our excuse now for whenever we're just
Explain
riffing.
ourselves.
just riffing, trying to figure out what the hell we're doing. So for everyone on the podcast, I have no idea what I'm doing and I'm terrified.
Pretty much. Just constant state of being. So bonus action as part of the race trait, Virgil's going to sort of pull the energy into himself and just like touch his chest and infuse himself, and you once again see the large sort of curved line go sort of down and across his face, and then like another one sort of appear just like on his neck. And I'm going to bonus cast Blade Ward on myself
Okay.
just to keep that up, and then because I can cast a cantrip after that, can I? Just a normal one.
I believe
You can do cantrips as bonus actions and then cantrips as actions, can't you? You could.
you can't cast 2 cantrips in the same round. I
Yeah.
don't.
You can cast the first level and a cantrip. Or...
Yeah, if the
can, if
cantrip
it's
is a bonus action, he can action a cantrip as well.
Let me just
Have we done that before?
double
Yeah.
check.
I'm pretty sure you can. It's just that you can't cast multiple spells that are leveled.
Yeah. Hallie did it with Shillelagh.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
you
There is no
can,
rule. There is no rule against casting 2 cantrips in one turn. So yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
Cool. So sort of
Oh.
casting the blade.
1 second.
Oh.
Apologies. D&D Beyond, you cannot cast 2 cantrips during one action.
Yeah, but it's not during
No,
an
but
action.
It's
bonus
yeah,
action.
one's a bonus action, one's an action. So you can't cast 2 spells. So if you have like a first level spell that's an action,
Okay, what we're
bonus
gonna,
action,
okay,
you
what we're
can't
gonna,
do that.
okay, what we're gonna do? I'm gonna allow it, and then we're gonna check the rule book after the session, just so that we can
Yeah, that's fine.
move on with the combat. So go ahead.
Yeah. So after the blade wards come up, he just sort of pulls his hands together, and this firebolt appears in it. But as it does, you see like this like really long, crooked, elongated nose, and like a smile made out of just jagged triangles, and these 2 little slits for eyes, and these little ears just appear. And he's just going to launch this firebolt towards the were-rat here.
The what? Sorry.
This were-rat here, the one that's next to Pim, essentially.
Okay, no problem. Go. So that is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. That's over 30 feet away. What's the range on Firebolt?
120 feet.
That's fine. Go ahead and roll me to hit then, please. As you
Okay.
this arcane energy in your hand and launch it down the tunnel past Pim.
21.
21. The firebolt erupts as it crashes into the side of this were-rat, or this rat-like beast. Humanoid rat-like creature.
For a full
Can you
10
guess
fire
what it
damage.
is yet?
Nice.
10 fire damage. Excellent turn. Very good.
As the firebolt hits, you just see the imprint of the face that was on the firebolt originally as it sort of like grins a bit before it dissipates across the room.
What the fuck is that?
Okay.
And that's my turn, so yeah, I should say that.
Okay. Very good. Thank you very much. Moving on to Liana. I don't feel like that this music is... I'm going to put this on. There we go.
So Leanna, seeing her group being bitten at and being attacked, she is going to look down, and she gets a bit low. And Kyria, actually, for the first time, you will feel the temperature drop around you, and so will Pim, as she suddenly gets a bit more wild and a bit more muscly as she rages.
There you do.
So bonus action rage, and then she is going to attack the fella that is in front of her. No, that's the other one. This guy.
Okay, so the one that has just attacked Kyria, you're going to attack that one. How are you going to do that?
With my great axe.
Okay, very good. Go ahead and roll me to hit with your first attack, please.
That is a 12 plus 5. That's a 17.
A 17 will hit as you bring the great axe down onto this rat-like creature's form.
I don't have D12. But...
This short intermission is brought to you by Spotify Music, your one-stop shop for all things D&D podcasts.
Okay. That is an 11 plus 3 plus 2 for when you're raging.
Plus 2, yeah.
So that's 11 plus 5, which is 16 points of slashing damage.
16. Whack! As you hit this creature with your great axe. Anything else on your turn, Liana?
No, I'm just going to stare it down. Actually, I'm going to say, you made a mistake.
Okay, very good. Next in initiative is going to be this other were-rat that was kind of at the back, kind of trying to be a little bit reasonable, but then axes were thrown and threats were made.
It's a reasonable were-rat.
As it goes 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 to here. And we'll race towards the entrance of this cave to where Kyria and Liana and Pim are all situated, as it will then try to take a swing towards you, Liana. And it will swing with the short sword that it pulls from its waistband.
Okay.
That is going to be a 19 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, so there's a... That's 3 points of piercing damage as it tries to stab you with
halved?
the short sword. It will be, yeah, because you are raging. So half that to 1.
1.
1. Oh, nice.
So 3 halved, but you always take the negative, so it's 1.
Yeah.
Okay, and then as it stabs you, it's almost like trying to stab you to gain purchase as it leaps up and takes a bite towards sweet little Pimothy that's on your back.
How could you?
Oh, it's dead.
So that is unfortunately a natural 20 on the attack against Pim.
This is what you get, Evan.
So that is 6 points of piercing damage against Pim. Oh, not 65, 6. And Pim is going to need to make a Constitution saving throw. Okay. That ends the were-rat's turn as it lands and just goes in your face, Liana.
Okay.
It is Pim's turn next, and I have very specific instructions from
Are they applied to this now? Like, you might need to change that.
So, Pim is going to... Once I read his character sheet front to back, so I know.
I thought you gave very specific instructions.
Yeah.
He did, but not about this.
Read my character sheet.
Yeah, not about this. Okay, so he is going to... Okay. Okay, so he's going to cast Fairy Fire. Which is a 20-foot cube. So let me draw a 20-foot cube.
That's gonna hit us, isn't it?
That's everyone.
Is it everyone within it or creatures you choose?
I'm going to just double check.
It's everyone, I think. 'Cause it's
Any creature in the area when the spell is cast is outlined if they fail a dexterity saving throw. So,
Okay.
and he's going to place it because this is Pim we're talking about here.
Yeah.
He's going to place it so that he encompasses all the were-rats as well. So I need Liana, Kyria, and Pim to also roll me dex saves, please. So, first one. Okay. What's their dex score? I would imagine it's quite high, really. Yes, it's a +2. Okay. Oh yeah, Pim needs to roll one as well. Oh dear. What's the save? Saves 14. Okay, so this individual next to Kyria is fairy fired. So I'm going to just put a... Is there like a magical effect ring? Oh, there's a raging one for...
Nice.
Nice.
I'm just going to put that one on. They're not, but I'm just going to put it on.
Yeah.
And also, one on Pim as well, as he failed his
I
dex
also
save
failed.
on his own save. What did you get, sorry?
I got sorry, that was a 4 + 2, 6.
6. Kyria?
15.
15, you saved. So you are raging, but you're also under the effects of fairy fire. Exactly that.
They've already got advantage now, so you might as well just reckless everything.
Yeah.
What else can Pim do on his turn?
Does it affect the caster as well? I didn't know that.
Yeah, if they're in the radius.
Or
If they're in the
Yeah.
radius, but I think at this point Pim's just trying his best to help you guys out.
Cheers, Pim. You're doing great, buddy.
Yeah.
Trying your best.
Trying his best to help you guys out. Okay, so that I'm going to end Pim's turn there. He probably won't move at the risk of being hit. And next in the initiative is Kyria.
Okay, I am gonna use my bonus action to kind of like, as I'm looking like I'm like just mending where the scratch was, I then tug the earring and I use my bonus action to activate my melodious echo earrings.
Nice.
For my mamas, and I am then
Shake what your mama gave you.
That's what came into my head too.
I am then going to use my action to attempt to channel through the dark shard and cast Chill Touch.
Ooh.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay, so which creature are you looking to attack with Chill Touch?
The one next to me.
The one next to you within the entrance of this kind of
Yes.
the entrance to this cave space. Okay, for those people at home who want to know the effects of Chill Touch, is this a cantrip, first level?
This is a cantrip, and I first of all need to make a DC 10 Arcana check to see if I'm able to do it,
Excellent.
which I am. That is
Amazing. Excellent.
I then, because it is a charisma-based attack, get advantage due to my earrings to hit,
Damn.
Very good.
which is a natural 20.
Let's fucking go!
Chunky crits!
Nice.
So that is 7 points of necrotic damage doubled, +2 as I use life drain.
Ooh.
So that
good.
is 16 points of necrotic damage.
God damn.
Nice.
From a cantrip, baby! Level 2!
Level 2. Let's go.
Okay.
Do we
and-
get a chunky crit from the spell?
You do get a chunky crit, yes. For those of you at home watching, and for those of you certainly listening now, as you've discovered our new podcast, available on all streaming services, available where you cast your pods, every time any of our players, or indeed enemies, get a natural 20 on their attack rolls, they get something called a critical hit, otherwise known as a chunky crit. Now, what that then means is that they can roll an additional d20 on a critical hit table to do additional damage or have additional boons added to their attack. So, go ahead and roll me a d20, please, Kiri.
It's just a fun thing we do. It's just a fun.
9.
9. Ooh! You
We have fun
smash the foe's nose. Inflict an additional 2d4 damage with this strike, and blood starts to stream down the enemy's face.
Okay, so it's an additional 5 damage. As what you see as Kyria kind of reaches into their pocket, and you see a faint purple glow begin to rise, and their eyes kind of flash to that like even brighter blue than they already are in these dim light conditions, you see rising from the dirt little pieces of bone, which then begin to knit together into this ghostly skeletal hand, which then grips the face of this were-rat in front and then just jabs him up the nose with her fingers.
Nice. Very good.
Give him a coat hanger.
Kiri.
Yeah.
Anything else on your turn?
So just as a heads up with Chill Touch, until then it hangs onto the target and it cannot regain hit points until the end of my until the start of my next turn. But
Excellent.
I can't really bloody move without getting it is the problem.
Without getting it, you're right.
Getting it.
So, anything else on your turn, Kiri?
Nah.
No. Okay. So, top of the initiative order, we are back to the rat humanoid creature within the tunnel that Liana first threw their hand axe at. They are not happy about being stabbed and fireballed and other things, and is going to race forward, and seeing that Liana has tried to throw a hand axe at them, is going to try and retaliate in kind and bite you.
Okay.
This is with advantage because you are fairy fired.
Yeah.
That is an 18 plus, so that's 22 to hit.
Yeah.
So that's 4 points of piercing damage, and I'm going to need you to make me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Is that already halved or?
Yeah.
No, so that's half to 2.
Right. So hold on. And what save do I need to make?
Constitution saving throw, please.
Con.
This is barbarian bread and butter.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
I got a nat 1 for a 6.
For a 6.
Clockwork thingy. Does that work in this situation?
I think it's an attack roll, isn't it?
Is it an attack roll?
And I think you have to do it before
Do you?
you roll.
I forgot I even had that.
I know you did.
Okay. And with the second attack, the were-rat, or the rat-like humanoid creature, fucking everybody's guessed it's a were-rat by now. The were-rat
The mystery.
takes another swipe at you, Liana. Not happy about this hand axe that you've thrown previously. That is going to be a 17 plus 4, so 21.
That hits.
It is attack rolls only on the clockwork thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that is going to be 6 points of slashing damage, halved to 3.
Congratulations, you are now aware at.
Okay. Next in... Ooh, I think... this creature is going to move around to here. So it moves round the back of Timothy.
Do I get an opportunity attack? It is out of my range now. It was in my range.
Yeah, sure.
Reckless.
I can't. I'm only level 2.
Oh, is that a level 3 thing?
Yeah.
Is it?
Well, it's not on my
Oh.
features. So that was a 23.
23 will hit. Go ahead and roll me some damage, please.
8 plus 5, so that is 23. No, 13. Sorry. 13.
13. So as this creature
I wish it was
steps
23.
past to move around you and Pim, you wildly swing out with your great axe and clash it around this creature's back as it in pain, but it still lurches forward, generally staring now towards you, Virgil.
Of course it is.
Next in initiative order, however, is you, Edivir.
Okay. Then I will. I mean, I can already get flanking, so I don't really need to hide. So fuck it. I'll just run around. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 to there.
Okay.
Stibbity stabbity roo.
Okay, so you race round. Edivir races through this open cave to get to a flanking position with Kyria, with one of the were-rats in between, who is under the effect of fairy fire anyway.
Yeah.
So you
Oh,
do
well, in
gain
that case,
advantage
actually-
and flanking.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Oh, yeah, I'll stay where I was.
Okay.
Cool.
So
Cool.
go ahead and roll to hit with advantage.
As I'm running up, I'm just going to shout out to them. It doesn't have to be like this. It's not too late to stop. Oh, advantage. Okay, not bad. 17 to hit.
17 will hit. Go ahead as you jam the scimitar, I believe.
Yes, I'm going to try and clock with the handle.
Okay.
Try and get some non-lethal. I'm going to try and knock this fucker out.
Okay, go ahead and roll me some damage, please.
So it's... Oh, shit. There's 1 + 4 on the standard attack, and then sneak attack. That's 5. So 4 + 9 points of damage.
9, and you've made me aware it is non-lethal as you and clock this creature round the back of the head, and you just see their body go limp as their body just hits the ground unconscious.
I'm gonna keep going. So that was 30.
Says that.
That was 30 feet.
Yeah, 1 second.
30
So you're concentrating on Blade Ward. 1 second. Unconscious, there we go. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to keep going. 35, 40, bonus action dash. 45, 50 to there.
Okay.
Does that put me... Oh, does that mean... Is that flanking with Timothy?
I will allow it.
Okay, thank you.
I would also like you to roll me a persuasion check, please.
Oh, okay. Ooh! That's good. But I have bad charisma, so it's not good. Persuasion, that's an 18.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay,
Yeah,
no
it's a
problem.
-1. Okay, and then I'm going to... Fuck, that was my bonus action, so I don't actually even have an offhand attack, do I?
No.
Okay, no, then that's it. That's it.
It's your turn. Okay. This next creature is unconscious, so next in initiative order is Virgil.
Okay. I would have heard Edivir sort of shout this within the realms of the tunnel quite clearly, wouldn't I? That
Yes,
it doesn't
easily,
have
yeah.
to be this way, yeah?
Yep.
Sort of looking at this half-burned, half-chopped rat sort of lurching its way before me, Virgil sort of shrugs and goes, "He's right, it doesn't, but I'll listen to my friends." And he sort of, as he sort of pulls his hands up, you watch the bluish-green arcane energy sort of leak off of his hands, and surrounding his head, a little bit sort of Navi style, you just see 3 little orbs with wings just sort of start to flutter slightly before I'm going to cast Magic Missile for non-lethal damage at the rat in front of me and just poof, poof, poof. 3 in the chest, try and knock him down.
Okay.
Throw him to the floor.
Okay, no problem. So, with it magic missile, you don't need to roll to hit. You just roll damage, I believe.
Yeah. Do you want me to just roll the once and then be done?
It's 3 magic missiles, so I believe you roll 3 times.
Okay, cool. Okay, so the first one is 3. The second one is 5. I hate triangle dice. And the last one is 2.
Which is just enough to knock this individual unconscious as you... These 3 globules of magical energy start darting, creating this missile of arcane energy, hitting the were-rat square in the chest 3 times in quick succession as it collapses onto the floor and just kind of skirts back, I'd say 5 feet to about there, but is unconscious on the ground.
Cool. With that done, Virgil will move to here.
Okay, yeah, so you take about 20 feet up the corridor of this tunnel towards the rest of the group.
Yep. As the blade ward, as you see the magical line of his blade ward start to fade across his face, he sort of looks towards everyone and just free action. Just, are we all right? Or just knocking out, I assume. And that's it, pretty much.
Okay, no problem. Next in initiative is Liana. Liana, you are up now.
I've been just taught how to play a barbarian. I do have reckless attack, and I also have danger sense. So I should have had advantage on that saving throw, but I won't wreck on it. But I know going forward.
Yep, perfect.
Thank you, chat and people here. Hearing them all talk about, try and knock them out, she is enraged and is not going to listen. So she is going to reckless attack the one left beside her.
Okay, so this means that with it being reckless, you can attack with advantage, so go ahead and do so. As you swing your huge great axe in the direction of the last remaining were-rat who is currently still conscious.
It's nat 20.
Natural 20.
Chunky crit.
Very good.
Motherfucker's dead.
Okay, go ahead and roll me some damage, please. Double the damage on your dice.
Damn it, now we have to kill all of them.
No rat army for Edivir.
Dice, so double 9 is 18. Plus 5. Someone else do that math for me. 18
23.
plus 5. Yep.
Plus 2 for rage.
Plus 2 for rage.
25.
And then a chunky crit.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me on the chunky crit table.
I mean, it is chunks at this
A
point.
6. Okay, solid strike to the foe's torso. Roll an additional 1d4 damage.
There. 3.
An additional 3 damage. Thank you very much. As you cleave into this were-rat.
It bit me. I wasn't going for non-lethal.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's gonna leave a mark.
Okay, anything else on your turn?
Just gonna make chunky.
If it's still conscious,
It is.
I am going to sort of throw my head back and do a daunting roar.
Nice.
Okay, very
Not
good.
a beforehand, but- Yep.
So,
it is afraid. If it needs to do a wisdom save.
okay, what's the DC?
13.
Meets beats, I'm afraid.
That's fine.
So you in the creature's face after cleaving it with your great axe. Anything else on your turn?
That is everything. She's not moving.
And as you do that, it goes looks left towards the body of its friend and looks right to the body of the next one, and you see like the twitching in their eye and like they start kind of like foaming and frothing at the mouth as they get enraged themselves and go to strike at you with their claw.
Bring it.
That will miss, but as they strike at you, you kind of like turn to move out of the way and duck, but by doing so, opening Timothy up for the second attack, unfortunately, which is going to be its bite attack. The bite attack will hit. So that's a 14 plus 4, that's an 18.
Can I possibly use a hero die to interject myself between them? So instead of turning away, turning towards him, so it would bite me, not him. Can I use a hero die for that?
Sure. I'll allow you to do that. So you can expend one hero die to interject, given that you are within 5 feet of the creature and Pim, you can interject yourself to take the hit.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is an 18 to hit, so it will hit. You take an additional 6 points of piercing damage, halved to 3, and you need to make me another con save, please.
And I will take this at advantage because I have danger sense.
That's for
Dexterity
Dex.
saves.
That's Dex save.
Okay, never mind.
It's to sense traps and stuff like that.
So
Magic.
Dex, that's a 4.
A 4 for con save.
Oh, sorry, that was Dex. Sorry.
So you just keep the same roll, just add your con instead. Yeah, don't re-roll it. Yeah, 10, 7.
7.
Okay, no problem. Good to know. Thank you.
Oof.
Could I become a double wear rat?
Double red.
So
The alpha were rat.
next in initiative is Pim. And they are going to, seeing that you've just been bitten twice, is going to, while they're holding onto your back, is going to cast Cure Wounds on you
Hey, good old Pim.
for 1d8
Little Pim stim pack.
plus
Pim
your modifier. So you get 10 hit points back.
Oof.
He is within 10. Oh no, it's concentration. Sorry, go on. So I get 10.
You do, yes, 10 hit points back, yeah. So 1d8 plus 4. So I rolled a 6, so you get 10 hit points back.
Nice.
Okay. Pim is then going to... Oh, it's probably going to stay where they are. Kiri, you're up next.
Oh, I just noticed Ruth gave me an inspiration. If you'd given me before that thing, I'm sorry I didn't use it. So thanks for the inspiration.
I suspect you'll need it.
Yeah.
Kyria is going to look towards the one still standing. And it's more just trying to hurt its soul a little bit. Not trying to kill it, just, just make it feel a bit bad. And so is going to say, some are burdened with glorious purpose, and some are just purposely burdensome. I'll let you figure out which one you are.
Oh,
It's going to cast Vicious Mockery.
oh no.
Nice. That was horrible.
Yeah, it knows. It knows.
Let's go.
That's his MO.
Unfortunately, that was a natural 20 on the save.
Oh, yeah,
though.
yeah.
I do apologise.
It's fine. I'm just insulted for no reason. And then I will bonus action Bardic Inspiration to Edivir, who is in his head. Listen, I know you're good at sneaking up on things. I'll give you a little boost. Get rid of these guys, will you?
Very good.
Ash
Well-
is talking to you through the ether.
If that's is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, that's me. Oh wait, I can move now, can't I? No, I can't.
He's right there. Okay,
No, I'm fine.
Edivir, you are up.
Okay. Okay, they're all unconscious. So yeah, I'm just gonna take a backhanded whack with the base of the scimitar on the back of this dude's head.
D6 Bardic.
Natural one.
Noise.
A natural 1 is unfortunately a fumble on your part. I need you to roll me a d20, please, on the fumble table.
Natural one.
Oh no.
Goodbye, dice. Never again.
Okay.
Rocks fall, you die.
So I need you to roll me some damage, please.
Oh fuck. Okay.
So roll me the
Rolling.
damage for your scimitar.
Okay.
It's as if you would hit as you were planning on, so would be with sneak attack as you would do normally. Your attack. Are you adding? It's damage.
Okay.
So-
Yeah, I know. So I got 6 plus 3 because I rolled max damage.
Yep.
A 9 plus another d6, which is only a 2.
11.
Okay.
So 11.
Okay. Okay. You take. You take 12 points of damage to yourself, Edivir. You accidentally strike yourself for normal damage plus an additional 1 point of damage. In addition, You fall on your back and are unable to right yourself until you make a DC 16 dexterity check.
Okay, so does that cost me something to try and attempt that?
So
is
it's
it
an
just
action.
movement?
It's an action to
An
do.
action.
It's an
So
action.
You have to roll a DC 16 dex check as an action to right yourself. You are currently knocked prone and on
It's worth all the
your
chunky crits. It's worth all the chunky crits. It's worth all of the chunky crits. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. As a bonus action,
Yep.
I'm going to make an offhand attack with my dagger.
Okay, so this will be with disadvantage because you're prone on your back. But you're more than welcome to.
Can I shimmy along the floor
Whether you shimmy or not, you're going to stay in the same position
until I make the dex check?
until you
Okay,
make
fine,
the
fine,
dex
fine,
check. Yeah.
Fine. All right. Yeah. So just from where I am, then I'm going to strike out and try and fucking hit this guy in the ankle to try and break his ankle or something like that.
Okay.
So knocked yourself out.
Dagger. Come on. Right. That dice is dead to me forever. Offhand attack. Let me just, because it's no bonus to the damage, but you still get the bonus to the attack, right? Offhand attacks.
Yeah, because you're proficient in it. It's just lesser damage. Yeah.
There we go. So that's a 17 to hit.
A 17 will hit.
Okay, but
You
it's with a
can
dagger, so
add the d6 bardic to your damage if you want.
Ooh. Okay, so that's 3 plus 5 plus 3, so 6 plus, so that's 11 points of damage. Non-lethal to this thing's fucking leg as I try and sweep it out
As
from under him.
Okay, you do make contact.
On like as I as I like swing and it kind of spits at me or something, and I just catch myself in the back with my own scimitar. I just, as I'm falling down, I just try and almost like save myself by just stabbing it into his leg.
Nice. Okay, so that will be the end of your turn.
Yeah.
Virgil, you're up.
And we had a perfectly good view watching the usually graceful Edivir seemingly hit himself in the back and then like fall down, jab a dagger into something like top of it. It's a... Sure, okay. I'll just be everywhere. It's fine, I can do this. Are we still knocking them just out, or do you want them dead now?
Yes.
Oh!
I'm going to throw something and we'll see what happens. I don't know, okay? And once again, the sort of the arcane energy forms into the fireball that grows the nose and the mouth and the eyes and the little horns this time, as it has this little impish face. I'm just going to throw a fireball at this thing.
Okay, go ahead and
Fireball.
roll to hit.
Bolt.
Can you imagine?
Deadball.
Holding that on my sleeve.
At level 2. Incredible.
Into a group, a tightly packed group of the enemies and all your friends.
Well, one of you will survive. 15.
15 will definitely hit. Go ahead and roll me some damage, please.
Cool. That will be... it's not great. It's 5 points of fire damage.
How do you want to do this?
Nice.
5 damage is just exactly what you needed to get rid of this last remaining were-rat.
As he throws this ball, and it's sort of like, you see like the little, like the grin sort of widen as it flies. It sort of catches the nook where Liana's axe sort of buried into its chest and sort of digs in. And you watch for seconds as its chest glows and just this sort of like eruption of flame as this like devilish face comes out as it burns away at this corpse thing and just... Yeah.
Hey, and you do so, and this creature gets clashed in the side of its face, and it just poof, hits the ground and skids to your feet, Edivir. You are all out of combat. Edivir, make me a dexterity check, please.
That's really good as well. Dexterity 24.
24. You see Edivir just kind of like roll onto his back, put his hands just next to his head, and go woof, woof, and just kind of like flip up onto his feet.
As I get to my feet, though, I'm like, oh, really, like, immediately curl over as like, fuck. What the hell?
Interesting strategy.
What did you do?
What? Me? Or just all of us in general?
Is he dead?
Do you see the smoldering? Do you see the smoldering hole in its chest where it's no longer has the necessary organs to live, Edivir?
And you see as you look down at this smouldering pile with this hole, this concaved chest of this wearer, as their form just slowly starts to shift back into a human. As they just lie there with blood just pouring out of their chest and soaking the ground around them.
They didn't have to die. They were in a desperate situation, just like anyone else. But now they all do.
Right, and so are we. And our situation was just as dire. Would you rather that we were dead?
It bit me and Pim.
Edivir's going to take out a dagger, walk over to one of the unconscious were-rats, stab the dagger in the base of its skull.
Oh. You do so, and you hear the as the blade just easily gets pushed into the base of the neck, and as the blade comes out, you see the form just shift into their human form again.
Leanna was already making her way over to the unconscious one that she's in front of now. That has her hand axe still buried in its shoulder, and she's going to pluck the hand axe out, and she's going to decapitate it.
Kiri, as you sort of see Dag doing this, he's muttering to himself, and as he pulls out the dagger, he stays knelt, just looking at this person, as I assume they shift back into a human. And he just closes their eyes with his finger.
I think Kyria kind of taking a moment to step back, because this is the first time they've actually lingered when there's been any form of combat, really, is kind of going to be just taking a step back and kind of tumbles a bit and just catches themselves before looking over what Edivir's doing, and a soft kind of melody begins to fill the air and kind of picks up around your chanting as Kyria picks up the pan flute and begins to softly play, just to kind of match with your chanting. And I'm also going to cast Healing Word onto you, Edivir, as part of that as well, but just kind of shakily playing.
And you see, as he sort of leant over this person, the blood running down his back is seeping heavily through his cape. The wound on his back is severe.
Yeah.
I'm fucked up. I hurt myself real bad.
You get...
Don't roll nat one, guys. Don't do it. Especially don't roll nat ones on your nat ones.
No.
You get 7 points of healing as spectral hand begins to kind of sew with the needle and thread you're back in time with the music and your chanting as you close their eyes. And Kiri's just kind of taking a step back and is looking wide-eyed while shakily playing.
Okay. Pim just kind of gets down from Liana's back, clutching at his arm, just kind of goes, well, what are we going to do now? Do we bury them? Do we hide them? Do we just leave?
There's a fire over there.
We're not burning them. Have we not done enough damage?
Fire burns away bodies. We have enough bodies attached to our name as it is.
But that nobody knows we're here. We can just leave. Nothing here pins this on us. Let's just
drag him out of the tunnel and let's just stick him in a corner somewhere outside of the entrance. And I will drag this guy to into this little corner over here, sort of. Actually, over to behind this little rock over here.
Okay, no problem.
So the rock near where their little campfire was, but obscured from the entrance.
Okay, no problem. You guys, you drag the body and place it behind the rock.
I'll do the same with the other one, and I will loot as I go.
Sure, make me an investigation check.
Is there a campfire still up?
It is dwindling. It's not so much a campfire as a blaze. It's very much it's very low. The light source is very dim from it.
18.
18. Okay. You managed to find 2 copper pieces between all 3 of them.
Oh,
Just looking around this, whatever it was they were trying to tunnel into this bit of the thing. Is there anything just a basic investigation, just to look at what is in this cave, essentially?
Sure. Go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
Investigation is good. Oh, okay, that's not bad. 17.
Legitimately, apart from the small campfire that's there, you don't see anything else within the cave. You see a couple of... I mean, again, you saw... Oh, sorry. Edivir and Kyria will have seen that one of them was cooking. As you kind of come closer to the fire, you see that what they're actually cooking on is like a very makeshift grill that's been made out of like a couple of coat hangers that have been kind of like twisted together to make like this handheld rack thing that they've got. The smallest, and I mean, we're talking like the smallest slither of chicken on it. We're talking like a very, very small fillet that's barely enough to feed 1 person, let alone 3, is currently like now kind of charred on one side, just half in the fire as this griddle thing's been placed near it. There is nothing else within this cave area.
Just looking at the walls, do they look dug? As in, does it look like they've dug this place themselves, or they just discovered a recess within the pipe?
It doesn't look like they've done this. It looks like they've just found this recess.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah,
Pim at this point, if anybody cares to kind of turn and try and look, he's further down the tunnel towards the other entrance, just kind of like leant back on the wall and has the stick that was, you know, the remains of bark from this morning, and it's just kind of like spinning it, looking at the floor, spinning it between his fingers, and just kind of tapping his foot impatiently.
I was going to say that Kyria, kind of continuing to play, is going to move towards Pim and is going to grab his hand.
You feel that there's a very slight tremor to his hand, very faint, but you can feel that his hand is shaking ever so slightly as he grips on, and as he feels your hand grip his, he just kind of squeezes your hand, doesn't really give you much eye contact, and you can just feel a little bit of a shake within his hand. And he just kind of turns to you, Kyria, and goes, we should be going.
I know. We'll go. Guys, we should leave.
Yes, we've got a job to do. Places to be, people to see. Let's go.
Anyway, just puts his dagger back in his chest holster and just walks, carrying on down the pipe.
Okay, no problem. Liana?
Yeah, heads after him.
Yeah.
Doesn't say to anyone.
You all continue making your way down this tunnel for another, I'd say, about 10 minutes. Very, very briefly. It's like another 10 minutes or so down this tunnel, kind of guiding Edivid through the kind of darker patches as you leave this dimly lit area, until you get to the end, which is, again, it seems like a ladder has been placed at the end of this tunnel leading up to a pipe above. There is no light source coming down.
At some point during the walk to this next section, just sort of as he's walking through the group to get towards the front, back from whoever is able to see at the front, he'll just, as he passes Pim, just rest a hand on his shoulder and just squeeze it very gently.
As you kind of rest your hand and squeeze on the shoulder, he goes, just be careful. And you see him like clutch at his arm on the shoulder as he just goes, I'm still a bit sore.
We'll get you through it. And I move towards the front where Virgil is.
Okay.
But remain quiet for the journey until we get to the ladder or whatever.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Right, we're going up.
Well, yes, we have a job to do.
I'll go check first. up the ladder.
You travel up the ladder, and
And I'll quietly, stealthily try and see what's going on outside the pipe before I open it.
so you kind of get to the very top, and there's like a cover on the top that you have to kind of like open, and as you do, the light from the daylight hits you, and it kind of like takes you aback a little second. It takes you a moment or two just to kind of adjust your eyes to the natural light that you've not seen for nearly 24 plus hours.
Yeah.
And you kind of like let your eyes adjust, and you open it, and it kind of, where it opens, you see that you are within this kind of like back alleyway. There doesn't seem to be anybody around.
Okay. And I'll just give a quick like summon up to the people below me, and I'll go up and out.
Okay. So you all
People now, not even friends.
make your way up the ladder and out of this pipe into the lower city of Winmere.
Nothing quite like fresh air, is there?
It's only nice to be out of there.
Oh, God. Didn't mean to put that one on either. There we go.
Right, we know roughly where we're going.
Do we?
Yeah.
Lead the way.
Okay. So you all...
So yeah, he gave us rough directions of sort of where to go once we got out, right? I think.
I will have assumed that Tanner would have done so, yeah.
Yeah.
You kind of all make your way out of this pipe and kind of all stood within this alleyway. You see that there are like pallets and crates and things that are all kind of like very... There's nothing in them, in the crates or anything. They're like opened, or like half the box as kind of like broken off, and bits of like stuff like that all over the alleyway. It is, I would say, mid-morning from best guess. The midday sun has not quite hit the sky. What do you guys want to do before you start heading off in the direction of the Hidden Star?
Well, we shouldn't waste too much time.
No. You see that Kiria's like struggling a lot more than you all to adjust to the light, and is like having to like block their vision a lot. I was like, no, I think it's best we go there. We ask for advice about where we could potentially stay. I'm known in the lower city somewhat. Should I change how I look?
Probably not a bad idea.
I mean, I don't know how well I'm known in the lower city, so do we all need to go? Would this be a smaller group? Would probably be safer.
It's also an option. But I think for now it's best we stick together as much as we can. We don't know where we're heading after this.
Yeah,
Big city, we don't want to get separated.
I think after what happened last time, I don't want to lose anyone again. And he kind of Pim grabs your hand, Kiri.
Yeah, I think I'll just squeeze it, and Pim can probably tell that Kiria is also shaking a little bit as well.
So, using very rudimentary disguises by some of you putting your cloaks hood up, some of you lifting your scarves above your heads, and kind of making yourself as disguised as possible, you start making your way through the streets of the lower city. Kiria, this is a very familiar area to you. You know exactly where you are. You were arrested not like a 2-minute walk from
We're right by
here.
the cemetery, aren't we?
Yeah, we are right by the cemetery. So this is a very familiar area to you. But you tend not to stick to the main streets as much as you can get away with. Very much sticking to alleyways. You see that through your travel through the lower city, there are plenty of people on the streets, lots of people milling around, people on the way to and from work, or kind of adventuring parties making their way through the lower city as well. As you guys round the corner, keeping an eye out, Pim would have been keeping an eye out this entire journey to ensure that any sign of City Watch or SBC is being kept an eye on. You guys do see a couple of members of the SBC, but they're quite a bit away down the street than where you are, so make your way to the Hidden Star, and as you round the corner, the Hidden Star comes into sight as you approach the quaint shop nestled along the cobblestone street. You notice above the door a weathered wooden sign swinging gently above it. The facade of the building is adorned with ivy and vibrant green leaves, contrasting with the earthy tones of the timber walls. You see a small arched window next to the door that displays an array of different trinkets and items. The door itself slightly ajar. You see inside there is a soft glow of warm light. And as you get closer towards the door, you get the scent of a couple of exotic herbs and spices that aren't easily come by. What do you guys want to do?
Edivir will just turn to Virgil and say, "This place looks a bit more your speed." And I'll take the box out and hold it up to him.
Well, I was going to come in useful at some point. That's fine. Do you
Edivir holds onto the box for about half a second as you take it from him and just looks you in the eye before letting it go.
Something to say, Eddie?
All in good time.
I'm sure. Are we doing this together, or do you want me to just do it on my own?
We shouldn't stay in the street.
Jinx.
Yeah.
Suddenly, they both go silent.
Out of the river for a second and goes, Jinx.
We shouldn't
Alright,
stay in the
well,
street, so we'll follow you in. But lead the way.
That's fine.
You see, as you kind of are having this discussion, you kind of turn back to look at the shop, and Pim has kind of like left the group to walk up to the shop front and has got his face like pressed against the window, looking in at all the stuff within the window display. As he kind of turns, sees you all walking towards the door, and just kind of like, you see his kind of spirit lifted a little bit as he waits for you, Virgil, to walk through the door before following in afterwards with the rest of you.
Sort of putting the box into his own sort of over satchel, so he's not holding it outright. He sort of goes to push the door open and just walks in with a sort of a mild grace to him this time.
Okay, so as you step inside, you hear quite a nice jingle as the bell above the door goes off. As you step into this shop, you see that it's quite a small area at first, and kind of strikes you as a bit odd given the size of the building on the outside. But you see dotted around this small section of this building are shelves upon shelves that are filled with different oddities and trinkets and potion bottles and books and, you know, bits like that. You hear, however, as you walk in, a soft ethereal music seems to be playing in the background, adding to the ambiance of this place, giving it an otherworldly ambiance.
It's like an old shop.
You notice that there are a variety of items dotted around, crystal orbs. You see there is a box, a glass box on the countertop with, as you would imagine, a spice rack. It looks like, but instead of little tubs of spices, there are magic what you would assume are magic wands within this kind of this rack that is just spinning very slowly within this box. You look around the room and you see that there are a couple of like tapestries on like hanging from a couple of the walls. You see that the tapestries itself, one depicting this huge castle on a hill with this marching army being marched towards this castle on the hill, but with lightning bolts raining down from the skies onto the encroaching armies. Another one on the opposite side is a little bit different. This tapestry of different flowers and kind of vines that are entangling this goblet that kind of stretches almost the full length of this fabricated tapestry on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as you look behind the counter, you see a beautiful, and we're talking beautiful, half-elf lady with beautiful, bright pink flowing hair, sat on a stool behind the counter with these beautiful, like, dagger-pointed earrings dangling from both ears with this, what looks to be like a black fabric necklace that is attached at the front with this beautiful kind of brooch that from either side of that brooch attaches to the shoulder points of their top, which is a shoulderless black kind of shirt that kind of flows to around halfway down their arms, their forearms. Beyond the shirt, you see there is tattoos that go the length of the back of their fingers and their arms and down the back of both their hands. Both hands dotted with these beautiful rings, as this individual takes a look at all of you walking through the door and goes, "Well, hello there.
General Kenobi."
Nope.
General.
Sort of
fight so bad.
very dreamily sort of taking in sort of the entire shop. A very sort of happy mellow comes over Virgil as he walks in and goes, "Oh, I could spend all day here, honestly. Hello, you have the most beautiful shop."
Ah, well, thank you very much for noticing. You are new faces, I believe. What brings you into the Hidden Star? We have all manner of wonderful things here for sale.
Him insight checks whether we are new faces to her.
That's fair, actually. Probably.
Yeah, I'm literally like 100%. I'm calling that for Evan.
Bloody
whisper
hell,
to yourself?
15.
How does that work?
15. Pim again just kind of like goes, "Yeah, this shop's wonderful." And as you just see him just completely distracted by all the odds and ends.
Sweet.
As the individual turns to you all and goes, "Well, thank you so much for the compliment."
You must be Alora? Alora, was it?
"And who might be asking?" she says with this kind of like smirky grin on her face.
Well, my name is Virgil. We've been tasked with a little something, but I want to make sure you were the right person first. Of course you are. I mean, gorgeous from head to toe. How could you not be? We're here on Tanner's behalf.
Oh, right. Tanner. Oh, yes, never one to leave the underbelly without just cause, and sent 3, 4, 5 of you. Well, I am truly honored. Well, there must be a reason that he sent you.
As Virgil sort of reaches out his sort of darkened hands to present the box. Mild delivery trip.
Oh, wonderful. As she takes the box, places it, and starts tapping fingers on top of the boxes. "And did you open it?"
Not at all.
Curious. Well, that must mean that he trusts you at least. As she opens the box and pulls out from the box, you see this small, intricately crafted orb that, as she kind of turns in her hands, kind of glows and shimmers with this arcane energy. She goes, because if you didn't and you had opened this, then you would not be here. She places it back in the box and closes the lid and just pushes the box to one side and goes, so, trusted friends of Tanner, this your first time here at the Hidden Star?
Personally, for me, I can't speak for the rest of them.
I feel... Hi, so this is... You're beautiful. I believe...
Thank you.
I think I came here a long time ago, but...
Yes, you do look familiar. Do you live around here? Sorry, where are my manners? Yes, to answer your previous question, Virgil, my name is in fact Alara. Yes, Alara Shadow Dancer. Pleased to make your acquaintance. But yes, you do look familiar. And in fact, and she kind of like clocks you, Liana goes, you definitely look familiar. But
Yes.
you there, dear, do you live around here? I'm sure I've seen you around this neighborhood before.
Yes, relatively nearby. It's kind of like looking to...
I do know you. I do know you. You're the little scamp that came in here not 12 months ago and almost pulled down my entire display of lost treasures. And then ran out and refused to stop when I called you back. Come on. I know that it's you. I know. It's on the tip of my tongue. It's on the tip of my tongue. You must be... Oh,
Must be someone else.
it's escaped me. How... Look, don't worry. Bygones be bygones. No harm, no foul. If you'd have actually stopped and waited, I would have told you there was no damage caused and these things happen. It was an accident.
Oh, well, if that was me, then I do apologize if it was.
Of course it was you. Don't you remember? You were wearing this beautiful green summer dress. You had these beautiful purple braces on.
It might have been.
Oh, well, look, by the by, how are you?
Okay, yes. And honestly, like, Carrier's just constantly looking at Eddie of like, I don't know what I'm allowed to say.
Ellie, if Eddie catches you looking at him, he just very slightly shakes his head.
No, we're doing well. Just had the errand from Tanner, as Virgil here says, and yes, I'm fine. And kind of like for the first time ever, like shrinking themselves to be smaller, and it's like moving slightly to the back.
Good. So, taking jobs for Tanner. Excellent. That must mean that you're open to work.
Absolutely. We have things we require. You have things that need doing. The way of the way is trade, as we all know. So,
well, in fact, it's quite the opposite. I have things that I require, and you might, if any point, you kind of come across things that are lost, or you need to sell some things that you might not be otherwise able to sell elsewhere. Then Alara's shop is the place.
There's no need for coy words.
Well, aren't we all coy? A little bit. Maybe not you. You don't strike me as the coy type.
no, just your run-of-the-mill dead fish. Anyway, as we were talking, what do you need doing?
Well, bit of this, bit of that. Why, are you open for gainful employment?
I mean, we were told a small fee was to be given our way for the delivery of the box. And after that, of course.
How rude of me. 1 second. And she kind of like goes into the till on the side and opens it and puts down 10 gold pieces and goes, there we are. shuts the till, slams it shut. Make sure that gets back to Tanner, if you will.
Of course.
Wonderful. Well, do have a look around. I'm sure there's many things in here that could grab your fancy. Maybe I keep the 10 gold,
and we might afford with 10 gold.
Well, there's plenty of things in here. Actually, are you in the need of a nice cashmere sweater? One just came by into my hands not a day or two ago.
Did anyone here lose a cashmere sweater?
A long time ago.
Hang on a minute, I left that on the train.
My name's written in this.
in the collar.
Those are my initials. Virgil sort of looks to everyone just trying to gauge sort of a vibe at the moment, because he knows why everyone is kind of acting the way they are, but he's just sort of looking individually each of you to try and sort of, with like a slight sort of tint to his eyebrow, like, shall we then? Like,
Virgil, Edivir doesn't seem to put out as much, as much as he usually is. Like, he's not sitting there sulking or anything like that. He seems to have kind of gotten over things and is now just sort of staring daggers at this person in his usual untrusting way. But he seems, but he seems to just be looking at you, letting you get on with the talking.
Kyria, your spot is kind of looking at this kind of shop, and you can see them like keep almost like grabbing their fingers in their hands, and like occasionally like will like fidget and step, like they're reassuring themselves of something before like snapping and going to where Pim is and joining him and looking at the shelves. Like they're clearly like thrown off, but you think it's more in a like doubting reality sense rather than a shaken up by what just happened sense. It's like is any of this actually real? Did those people just turn into rats and then get killed? And are we now in this magical shop where everything is floating around and there's a incredibly beautiful lady like from a book there? It's very much like, what is happening right now?
So
Liana is, since she entered the shop, she is still very much near the door. And you can see, since leaving the sewer, she has been very silent, very almost sulky. It would seem from the outside to be quite sulky. But she is very much stoically keeping to herself. She's not really given much out other than that.
Okay. Alara kind of places both elbows on the desk and puts her fingers together and rests her chin on the fingers. Goes, so, what kind of work would you like? What are your skill sets? What are you good at?
I mean, you're looking at a fairly well-rounded group. We have our strong woman, our charismatic, sometimes individual in the one you met before, the knife in the shadows, me, practitioner of all things arcane, and then our little druid friend here, and man of nature if there was ever a better one. We all have our specific sets of skills. We are looking for help, quite honestly. We need a lot. I'm not going to lie to you.
Oh.
And if Tanner trusts you to whatever degree he does, then I will extend the same to you.
And what is it you need, Virgil, if it's a lot?
Well, to start off, we need a place to stay.
Oh, really? Okay. And what else? Come on, keep the shopping list coming.
Well, you are insatiable. Fine, we need links to people who may or may not know, individuals who can point us in the right direction to acquire certain prohibited narcotics. We need...
Oh, really? You don't strike me as the types. Hey, you, maybe.
You.
And kind of points towards you, Liana. Goes, the rest of you, no. Just not really.
What exactly does that mean?
It just means that you look like you have the proclivity for violence, my dear.
Violence, maybe. Narcotics, no.
I apologize.
She crosses her arms and she's just like now leaning against the shelf, like not looking at her anymore. Like, fuck you then.
Out of curiosity, you said you recognize Liana's face, and I can understand why. You don't recognize the rest of us for any reason at all.
No. Should I?
Not at all. I'm just curious. We have a mild reputation as an up-and-coming group of adventurers, and I just wanted to know how far our, influence had spread.
Unfortunately, not as far as here. But look,
From the bottom, as it were.
anything else on this wonderful magical shopping list that you have?
What else do we need? Eddie, I'm sure I'm forgetting something.
Him still bleeding. He might could be in aid of, a healing potion or something.
Oh.
Alchemist, of course.
Oh, yes. I have a couple of connections throughout the city for alchemists. But again, look, as much as I'm enjoying this introduction, I don't really know any of you from anybody. Look, you need help, and you're friends of Tanner, which gains you some reputation and some kind of weight within this conversation, but look, we don't know each other. I'm not about to put myself out for people I don't know, okay? You might be able to help me out with a bit of an issue that I've been having. Do that, and maybe it'll put us on the right foot with ongoing negotiations.
What's the job?
Not one to mince words, I see.
Nope.
Well, if you must know, I have something that was, a deal that I made with I would like to call them a colleague, but they're more of a professional adversary, so to speak. Goods were given, goods were taken. I am now substantially out of pocket. Retrieve the goods, bring them back, and let's just say that would bring light to the dawn of a newfound friendship. Sound fair?
Gonna need a little more information than that.
Oh, of course. Look, I have a bit more information. I just need to go and fetch something out of the back so that we can get you off on the right foot. A contract, as it were. I trust you won't touch anything while I'm gone. But before I do, look, the person you're looking for, they operate out of the other end of the lower city towards the main gate there towards the south. They are not in as much of a reputable establishment as me, but they have fingers in pies that I do not. So, as you can imagine, the relationship between us is somewhat beneficial to both. They managed to acquire certain things that I otherwise might not, and in turn I'm able to sell to clientele that they do not have the capacity to, if you understand my meaning.
Yes.
So, look, there was a down payment made for certain goods. Those goods never arrived, and this individual has seemingly ceased all contact. Now, as I'm sure you can appreciate, that's left me quite vexed. Though you cannot tell with my smiling demeanor, I would go and deal with this individual myself, but I have a business to run, a reputation to uphold. I can't be seen to be sullying myself and bloodying my hands, but adventurers who are looking for their influence to grow, well, that seems like something you might be willing to do. Wouldn't you say?
Sounds fair to me.
Look,
Everyone?
either get the goods that I paid for, or bring me my bloody money back. It's as simple as that.
How much money or what goods?
Well, there is 250 gold pieces, or I asked for 3 crates. 3, well, I wouldn't say substantial, but big enough crates of, well, let's just say, we have a crate that came from the Luminos Sanctuary. They have managed to lose a crate of holy water that has been blessed by their most pious of clerics. And there is also a crate from Stormreach, full of Stormreach ale. Now, again, for the right price, that can sell at quite a hefty chunk, as I'm sure you'll imagine. And then there is some odds and ends that were on their way from Tinkertown down to Dawnbreak Village that, again, I just happened to hear of.
The toys.
And you're a former associate. What can you tell us about them?
Yes. So, well, they're not what you would say. They're not reputable by any means. They kind of keep themselves to themselves, so to speak. Or were you after a little bit more of a descriptive?
Are they dangerous? Are they bad people? Are they likely to hand things over? Is this all a misunderstanding? Do we need to kill anyone?
Oh, for one that isn't one to mince words, you certainly have a lot of questions brewing in that mind of yours. Dangerous, well, they seem to act like it. They, however, look, I've been dealing with them for some time. Never really got into any issue myself, and you have to kill anyone? Well, look, you're up-and-coming adventurers. I'll leave that up to you. How you do this is completely up to yourselves. If you bring back the goods, fantastic. If you bring back the money, fantastic.
How about a name?
Okay. The name of this individual is Alden.
Old man.
Alden.
Alden, Alden. Alden Ironheart.
Alden Ironheart.
Yes.
There may be something you can help me with, actually, as well.
Oh, ask away.
I doubt it's anything that you've got on hand. Might be something that you can acquire for me.
If I can, I will.
Let's establish a basis of trust before we go into that, then.
You are a mysterious one, aren't you?
Not very.
Look, you do this for me, and let's just say you'll win my favor. I might be able to do something about at least one of your items on your shopping list. Now, because, again, with me being a reputable businesswoman, we need to make sure this is all above board. So if you will excuse me for a moment or two, I shall write up the correct documentation, have us sign it. It can be notarized by us here, and then we can be on our way to an agreement. Happy? Very good. Before any of you have a chance to answer, and just turns and just walks and unlocks the door that's to the side of them, walks through and shuts the door behind them, leaving the 5 of you within the shop.
As she disappears out of the shop, Liana's going to start looking around the shop. She's looking for an item in particular, to see if they have it. It's a magical clock.
Okay. You wouldn't be able to obviously distinguish whether...
Yeah.
Make an investigation check first. Is there anything, while that roll is being made, is there anything anybody else would like to do?
I'm also going to look for some things.
Okay, what are you looking for?
There's a bit of a list, so I'll let you know.
I've got one thing in mind, and that's it.
Okay. Liana?
15.
15. You do see a couple of clocks. They are up on a shelf, around 15 feet high. You do see there is a ladder, like a step ladder, that's kind of tucked in just behind where the counter is.
I would have, if noticing that this clock, she doesn't know what this clock looks like, obviously, she just knows this clock with magical properties, would have brought Virgil's attention to it. Would they possibly be the clock that other guy was looking for? The one that was being sold at the auction?
I mean, we don't know what it looks like, or what it did, or anything about it. We can rock up with a clock that we've taken from this shop and hope he doesn't realize
I'm
he's...
not suggesting thievery. I'm just.
Oh, no, I wasn't suggesting it either, but I'm just... All I assume is he knows exactly what he lost looks like, and we are guessing at best.
You could show him an image of these clocks to see if they are the clocks that he is looking for.
Unfortunately, my images are not...
That's not how that works.
No, the second he put his hand to something that was even remotely shaped differently, he would feel through it. They're not that good yet.
That's not what I meant. I meant, like, you could show him, look, we found this clock in a shop. Is this the one you want us to go get?
Oh, I see what you mean.
Pretend that it is the clock.
Well, that's all you had to do was explain your plan better. Yes, we can quite actively do that.
I got it.
I got it.
Yeah, me too. I didn't. Like immediately.
So make sure you look at them properly.
It's a very glancing look towards all three of them. It's like, yes, we could.
Okay. During this conversation, Kyria, what are you looking for?
A harp.
A harp.
Ooh.
Beautiful.
Love that.
Unfortunately, you don't see any harps. You do see a couple of lutes. You do see a couple. You see a violin case. You don't know if there's anything in there. That's what you do see. And Edivir, let's start rattling down this list.
You ready?
Sure.
Right.
Oh, man.
Crowbar.
Okay.
Actually, I should ask first. Does this seem like a lot of things that have a lot of odds and ends, or are they all very like? Is there a general store aspect to this as well, or?
Not so much, no. But they might have a couple of the items
I'll
on this
rattle off
list.
some things: crowbar, ball bearings, a bell, caltrops, rope, more oil flasks, sacks, about head size.
About head size.
Just in case we need to kidnap anyone, you know.
Okay. The only thing that you would possibly see from that list is possibly flasks. This doesn't strike you as a general store.
Flasks of oil. I should.
Oh no, I don't think you'll find anything like that. It's not so much a general
oil or something.
It's not so much a general store. This is more a odds and ends. Basically,
Is a little bell an odd and end?
shit that people have grafted from people's houses.
Gotcha.
And then sold to this person.
Silverware.
They are now
Silverware.
Yeah. Like
DVD players. Yeah.
like musical instruments and clocks and like
PS5.
PS5. Yeah, stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? That's the kind of stuff that this person is selling.
Right,
You
The
know.
original Game Boy.
Well, Ed, in that case, then Edivir is just kind of just wandering around, moving like little sort of, ceramic eggs out the way and all this other shit, looking for some actually useful stuff in this shop of rubbish, and finds none of what he wants, I guess.
Okay.
He's angry at the shop.
And then sort of as I do that, I guess I would have picked up on Liana's sort of attitude over a little while, and after he's found nothing, he's just going to take out his water flask and have a sip of it, and then just sort of walk up, stand next to Liana, and offer it to her.
Okay.
Thank you. And she does. She takes.
Cool. He just gives you 2 pats on the back of the shoulder.
As you do this and you're patting, you feel a tug on your sleeve. And as you kind of turn and look down at Pim, he has his eyes like wide open and something in his hand.
Drop it.
And
No.
he grabs your
What have you got in your
hand.
mouth?
He grabs your hand and will... Oh yeah, easily enough. The rest of you probably wouldn't see this due to the sleight of hand check of a 19 plus 2. So a 21 sleight of hand beats everyone else's passive. He just slips this into your hand and you feel what appears to be a ball. Like a little orb type thing in your hand.
Okay.
And he kind of like looks at you and then just kind of like nods his head towards the counter and like rubs his head a little bit, and then walks off and begins just kind of looking at a couple of books.
It'll be all
Oh,
What orb? What's the orb?
the delivered orb.
did you just steal what we brought?
No, nobody saw him. Nobody saw him at the counter, but he put.
No, we're not saying this in game.
Okay.
We're just saying this out loud.
Yeah, this is us.
Oh, yeah, this is out of
I know,
character.
but- Oh, right, okay. I was going to say, because in character, none of you saw this. Just Edivir gets this orb and you feel this in your hand, and Pim just kind of like looks towards the box and then just carries on walking.
So that was what was inside the box that we were delivering.
Not that you... Well, if you look down and look at it, it doesn't give any like...
I'll briefly sort of uncup it from my hand and take a look at what he's giving me.
No, it doesn't look like the same orb that she took out of the box, but it's very similar in shape and very similar in like in size.
Ah.
I feel like I'm missing something here.
Yeah, me too.
Well, that's what he does anyway. But then he moves off to somewhere else in the shop.
Okay. So it looks similar, does it?
Mm-hmm.
I'll kind of go to him like,
He just kind of like wide-eyed and looks at you and just like kind of picks up a book and goes, "Isn't this nice? Shame. I had one just like it," and puts it back on the shelf and turns and walks off to the other side of the shop.
Okay. I'm not going to do anything.
No?
I'm not. I mean, oh, God, yeah, not while she's just walked away.
Okay, that's fine.
But I'll, it's up there.
Okay. Anything else anybody wants to do while they're here?
The flasks. Where about are they in the shop?
They're on a shelf behind the counter. They're like hit flasks, a couple that look like flasks that would hold some potions and things like that.
There's none that look empty.
It's hard to tell because none of them are transparent. They're all opaque. Some are made of metal. In fact, most are made of metal. They sort of like the majority of them are hit flasks. There are a couple of like glass flasks, but they're more like potion vials than they are flasks. Sorry.
And do any of them have like price stickers?
Nothing in here has a price sticker.
Right. Okay. This is more like a haggle sort of store, right? Yeah. Right. Okay. Okay. So she's gonna eye that, and then just wait.
Okay. Anybody else?
As Leona said her plan, and sort of clicks in Virgil's head that he was missing something key to it. He sort of turns and no, be nice. And he's generally going to spend enough time just looking at the faces of these things, the shape, just sort of taking in enough detail of whatever is there to be able to make a semi-decent silent image at needs be. But I'm going to spend some time just taking in the look of the clocks before sort of turning to the door and waiting for her to reappear.
Okay, no problem. You do so, and you kind of commit what these clocks look like to memory. And a moment or two passes before the door opens again, and Alara steps out and she goes, "I do apologize for the wait. So, as you can see here, I haven't written anybody's name at the top. What do we call you?"
Oh.
That's still a work in progress. We'll just do our names for now, I imagine.
Sure. So we have Virgil, and you are?
Who are you pointing at?
Anybody.
Who are you?
Dag.
Jag, lovely. And you there? Kyria. And you?
Liana.
Liana. And you there? And Pim. Timothy Quickfoot.
You don't always have to give your surname, Pim.
He just kind of goes, "Oh." So, as you can see here, and she pushes the parchment across, she goes, "Services, blah, blah, blah. You are to do such a thing for me. If you could just sign the button."
Do you mind? I I like to read. I just want to make sure that.
No, of course. Yep,
Yeah,
of course.
Virgil picks it up and is just going to read through this thing very thoroughly, making sure there's no clauses, get outs, anything that
Sign our
could,
lives away.
anything that could essentially fuck us over at the end.
No, it's nothing to do, nothing like that. It's just to say, obviously, that you've committed to carrying out this task, that you consciously and of sound mind sign to say that you're able-bodied individuals to carry out such tasks, blah blah blah, legal speak.
Yeah.
Legal speak.
It just says that over and over. Oh yes, the legal speak. Sort of putting it back on the counter, and Quill sort of coming out of his finger, he just sort of turns to everyone and just sort of nods knowingly, having read it through, that it's fine, and very elegantly signs next to his own name.
Very good. And she takes it off and goes, "Thank you very much. Well, I shall keep this here for good and safekeeping." As she opens the till and lifts the drawer up and slides it under and shuts the till again, and then just kind of waves her hand over the till. She says, "Now then, is there anything any of you might want to purchase while you're here?"
No.
I was just looking at those flasks behind you
Oh.
there.
Yes, lovely pieces. Been in such a body's family for, well, no more.
Are any of them empty?
They all are, yes. We don't stock liquor, unfortunately, but there is a lovely tavern just a few doors down.
No, that's okay. How much for just one?
I just want a flask.
Yes.
Oh, well, which one would you like? And you see that they're all kind of like shape sizes. Some look more ornate than others. You do see like one that's very much metal flask, a little bit of leather wrapped round in a band across across it.
Can I see if there's any that would require her to like get up a ladder?
Yeah, I mean, some on the top row that kind of like are all kind of embezzled and have a bit more ornate property to them.
Can I just have a little look at? See that one with the one right up there? Can I have a little look at that one?
Of course. And she kind of like pulls the step ladder and kicks it out and climbs up the ladder to the top, the step ladder to the top step, and begins to reach up to grab it.
I do poke Edivir in the side.
I don't know what Pim wants. Yeah, that's true.
Oh, okay, never mind. That's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know what Pim wants me to do. I don't know if he wants to keep this thing or if he wants me to swap it. I'm not going to do anything. Evan's not here.
That's fine.
Evan
I'm
is
gonna
not
look at
here.
it anyway.
Okay, so she fetches down the flask and hands the flask over to you.
What is this?
That would be 25 gold pieces. As you can see, it does have quite fine gold inlay along the lid, and it is quite intricate and quite lovely.
Maybe once we've finished the job we've done, and I'll be able to afford. I don't have the gold right now, but
Very well. And she kind of takes it out and kind of like puts it on one of the lower shelves, ready to put back later. Is there anything else I can do for any of you?
We've came to a bit of trouble on our way here. Is there anywhere that we can rest for a short time before we head out? We might want to let a bit more of the day pass anyway. These kind of things are usually best done.
Well,
evening hours.
how long are you looking to wait for?
What's time?
Mid-morning ish.
Oh damn, we got up early.
Curious human.
It's about 11 o'clock roughly. Coming towards noon. Mid-morning towards noon.
Even just an hour, if you can.
Sure. You all strike me as trustworthy individuals, and look, we have got a contractually binding obligation to each other now, so sure, yeah, follow me. And she just kind of like doesn't open the door next to her, which is surprising. She turns the opposite way and walks over to a large bookshelf and just pulls one of the books and pushes the bookshelf, and it kind of swings, and she steps through into a room.
I'm gonna grab Tim's shoulder. What do you want me to do? Do you need this?
No, just
You don't need this.
No, I don't
Okay,
need that.
Okay, go.
He just kind of like goes up and just kind of like scurries into the room.
Okay, I'm going to try, and as I'm passing the counter, is the box with the orb still on the counter?
Yes, and Alara has walked into the room, followed by Virgil, Kyria, and Timothy, leaving Liana and you kind of trailing towards the back.
Okay, then I will, as I walk round the counter towards everyone else, I will try and pick up the orb from the case and drop the other orb out of my sleeve to where it was.
Okay, make me a sleight of hand check, please.
Get ready for something good, guys.
I don't want you to say the result.
Okay.
I want you to tell me the result privately.
I'm fairly
please.
sure Pim would have guided me on this as well, right?
100%.
I'm sure he would have tapped you on the hand, yeah.
Okay.
You've got gloves of thievery, right?
Yeah.
So,
We're, as long as it's not one.
okay. Again, I don't want you to say anything to anyone. You're going to send me that result privately between now and next week. Cool.
Okay.
As you all are escorted into the room, it is a dimly lit room with a small round table in the middle, a couple of chairs, and Alara just kind of like ushers you all in and goes, you're more than welcome to wait here a while. And you kind of see that there is 2 holes in as she kind of like shuts the door behind you. You see there's like 2 very small holes in the wood where on the door that you've just come through, so you could obviously like look out into the shop to make sure anyone's there or not. And she just goes, well, rest up here, and yeah, sure, don't worry, there's only one way in, one way out of here, so when you're good and ready, just come on out. It was lovely to meet you all, and I'll see you shortly.
Thank you for everything.
And that is where we are going to leave it for this
What
week.
did I just steal?
What did you attempt to steal?
Why did you steal it?
What
Hey,
did he
man,
attempt to steal?
Pim wanted me to steal something, and I've listened to my friends.
All right, so I get shit for killing things, but stealing from the person we just made a contract with.
So that brings it.
Two very different things.
That brings it to a close this week. Thank you, everybody, for sticking with us and tuning in. Please, if you haven't already, make sure you head over to Spotify Music, go to Amazon, Apple Music, wherever you listen to podcasts if you do. And even if you don't, please just drop us a follow and drop us a rating on our podcast and your podcast platform of choice. And make sure that on Thursday you are waiting bated breath for the drop of every episode up to episode 7. So if you do need to catch up on some minor details, then that's where you can do it. Other than that, this week's VOD will be dropping on Sunday at 7 p.m. as always. But thank you so much for joining us tonight. We will see you next Tuesday for episode 8 of Aerilon: A Destined Journey. We love you all very much. Take care. Bye.
There will be no consequences for anything we did.
There'll be a lot. Bye.